Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Quantum Show. It is the panel discussion. Corrected links are sent to email or Facebook Messenger. Hello, Keith. Welcome back to the Quantum Show. I saw you in the chat room a little while ago. Awesome. Thanks for coming by. And Keith, your link is in email also. And yeah, your link is in email in case you can make it. I know your throat was bothering you. So, first hour talked about Project Bluebeam being part of a great reset and went over a little bit of the resets, the remnants of what's left nowadays. And also Maui fires, how I suspect that if it wasn't James Webb being used as a weapon, it was a similar one being used as a weapon. And okay, who we got? Somebody just walked in. Let's see. All right. If we get on here, are we on? I hit the buttons. I think we're on. Yes, Keith. Hi, how you doing? Thank you for coming back to the panel. Uh-oh.
I'm still breathing anyway.
Quantum happenings. What's up?
I'm still breathing anyway.
Yes. Welcome back to the panel, Keith. You have been missed. You have been missed here on the Quantum Show panel. I missed you.
Well, I appreciate that. Life got a little screwy here when we decided to try and burn down half the city.
Right. You know what? I sent you that message in your chat room that day talking about misinformation, talking about Kelowna has been burnt down. Well, it's half true. It's a half truth. And literally half of Kelowna. But they are saying that it was targeted, not targeted, but singled out to become a smart city. And so is Maui.
What, they're replacing the entire population?
No. Well, yeah, that would be the literal the literal translation of it. And okay, let me just welcome the chat room. Welcome back to the chat of the Quantum Panel, everybody. Who we got? Crafty Gamer, Scott Blight, Diane Boss, Sapphire Elf, Cindy Beck, or Keith is in the chat as well. And I know I got lurkers. Hit like and subscribe. If you're here, you're Quantum. Like Amy says, how did you get here? How did you find yourself here? Of all the YouTube algorithms, how did you find yourself here? I love that. She does it so well. Okay. But yeah, they were talking there. I heard that they were going to make Kelowna one of those smart cities where all electric cars, everybody's on the same app, and everybody's using a social credit system. Have you seen any of that going on?
No.
You heard it here on the Quantum Show. Say again, sorry?
The closest thing I've seen to that is they now have one ATM machine that I've come across where you actually have to use a touch screen to activate it. One.
Do you mean fingerprint touchscreen?
No, not fingerprint. I mean just like your normal touchscreen TV or your touchscreen computer.
Okay. Well, that's not really new. It's new for ATMs, but
I didn't say I wasn't saying it's turning into a smart city. Frankly, living here, you turn this place into a smart city and you're in trouble.
Why is that?
Well, because it requires an IQ. And unfortunately, with the way I've seen people behave here, I cannot see them trying to organize. I mean, you can't get people driving down the same side of the friggin' road. You know, the other day I was nearly, you know, I mean, granted, if you put everything electric, there's a problem with going electric with all the cars. You know, I don't care where you are. They're already talking about a hydroelectric shortage. The city is not built for charging electric cars at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
right.
you've got a half a dozen gas stations that you can charge your battery at, and none of the new buildings are being built with built-in power chargers in the parking lots. None of them are.
Yeah.
Mind you, given the way that people are talking about smart technology, this would be about par for the course.
Mm. Yeah. I am not for the smart city because a myriad of reasons. It just will not work because we're not ready for it. Our economy is not ready for it. Infrastructure is not ready for it. People's mentalities are not ready for it. I just don't see it happening. But that's the rumor going around. I don't know, the virtual cooler of all these little video makers. Not here. I look into them, but I talk about them.
You got a staggering amount of static.
Sound check. How do I sound now?
Now you sound fine.
Okay, got somebody else coming in. Who's this? Alrighty then. A dimly lit room. From the dimly lit room, here comes Frank from the back tech room.
Actually, outside.
Oh, okay. Welcome back to the Quantum Show, Frank. I know you don't come out too often.
No. Lynn extends her apology. She has a migraine, so she's not able to join this evening.
Okay, well, I hope she gets better. She's still in there. That's the Healing Network crystal. Both of you are included. That's another show, people.
Yeah. It was another show. Anyway, no, it's just, you know, I caught a little bit of what you were talking about earlier. So the concept of Kelowna being a smart city, you know, as Keith said, you do require, you know, at least some of the people, the majority of the people in your city, to be able to competently operate electronic devices. Yeah. Of course, if you have self-driving cars, then you have cars that can all drive in the correct lanes. But then you've got the morons who don't have them, and they get in there and cause all sorts of problems.
Well, you know, going through a parking lot for a local grocery here, I nearly got hit half a dozen times by people doing the highway speed limit.
Yeah. That happened. That happens here. In fact, yesterday we were down in El Paso, and going to this parking lot, and this guy's tearing through, going from, Nathan, you'll understand, from Zaragoza. They're on Zaragoza, east of 601 or 375 rather, and they were cutting through the parking lot to get to Joe Battle. And they must have been doing 70 miles an hour through that parking lot.
Yeah, I do understand that.
You know, that's the one advantage that smartphones would have. But unfortunately, the infrastructure isn't there for the electric side.
Right. And that's a lot of places actually have that problem. You know, they want to put all these electric cars out there, but there are some places that just don't have the grid strength to handle that.
Well, heck, I hate to put it this way. No, I don't. But the United States doesn't have the grid set.
Precisely.
I mean, you guys are already getting brownouts.
Yeah. Can you imagine requiring electric cars and trying to do that, Nathan, in the state of Texas?
I do not see it happening.
I mean, they have the statewide power grid die for the least inconvenience. I mean, one bad storm, you know.
See, given another 30, 40 years, you might be able to do it.
Yeah, 30, 40 years of infrastructure building and orienting to that kind of thing.
That's what I love about you, Keith, the eternal optimist.
Well, you know, I mean, I figured it sounded better than saying a century down the road.
Even if a century is more accurate.
I just put in the show.
Yes.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying a century is likely more accurate, but I figure, hey, let's go with the gamble and figure somebody gets their head on straight and says, hey, we got to start building this.
Yeah.
No, Kelowna is not burning down. Matter of fact, they're sending people back to their homes and doing property assessment to see what kind of damage was done. So I'm thinking if the city is burnt down, we've got an interesting way of dealing with it. Hey, look, the building's on fire. Let's send the people back into it.
Exactly. It makes no sense. Right now, I'm down in Louisiana, where my son and my daughter-in-law live. They're looking at having to evacuate due to wildfires in the little town that they live in.
Well, I definitely feel
it's Louisiana. Louisiana, swamp country, and they're having to deal with wildfires.
Well, they can't complain about a lack of water. At least we're in a desert.
Exactly. We're here in the desert Southwest. It's hot as a mother bear, but
it's not burning down.
Deal with it. Yeah. There's no. For once, there is no fires down here in southern New Mexico.
We can send you a couple.
No thanks. I used to be with the volunteer fire department up on the mountain. Anytime these mountains up here caught on fire, guess where I ended up?
Down at the pub.
I got on the. Yeah, I got on the front of a 5,000-gallon pumper in a jump seat, riding around, spraying out fires.
See, I don't fear fire, but I've already had this happen. Now, this is the second time in my lifetime they've tried burning the city down and not succeeded.
Yeah. Oh, it's as long as they don't take out too much of the other buildings, it's good. But
as near as I can figure, they haven't taken out anywhere near what they did the last time.
That's good.
Last time we lost 247 residential. I don't know how many they've taken out this time, but I'm pretty certain. See, West Bank, which is a community about half an hour south of us, kind of like a suburb of Kelowna. They changed the name to West Kelowna now. Most of it got evacuated. I don't know what's going on with it right now, but I do believe they're moving people back in there too.
Yeah, once the fire either is extinguished in a certain area or the burn pattern changes and takes it away from the residential areas, then they can have the people go back. But until the burn pattern changes and the winds shift, they get the people out of there just in case. Okay, everything shifted. It's on the other side of a mountain range or whatever. You guys can go back home.
Yeah, I got a kick out of it when it was on the other side of the lake, and they said, oh, we don't have to worry about it. There's a 2-mile lake between us. And all of a sudden, it jumped the lake.
Jumped the lake?
It is not
the lake.
Yeah. High up wind can take those burning embers all very far away.
Yeah.
It wasn't the high upwind. They were hitting 60 miles an hour in town.
Oh, well, then it was just wind.
Yeah, just wind. It just picked it up and shoved it all the way across the lake.
I think somebody ticked off a fire elemental. That's what it is.
I know. The fire elemental was brought in by ATOC because somebody ticked her off. And, of course, you take a fire, and we know I got a buddy who knows what they look like that watched a fire elemental pop up, and you could tell the way he was moving. It's the second time we've had the fire elementals, but this time we had a water elemental helping. Bear in mind, water elemental or air elemental, different density, same medium. But when they work together, you can burn a lot of area.
Or you can prevent the burning of a larger area.
Absolutely, you can. I'm hoping
fire elementals can retard the burn, and the water elementals can help extinguish or can help prevent other areas from
side effects. Yeah.
Hey, that works.
So the topics tonight mainly are Project Bluebeam and the Great Reset. Keith, you were there.
I didn't do it.
No, you weren't. You didn't do it. But 100 years ago. Now, I know you can recall.
I was living in Chicago 100 years ago.
Right. Chicago was on my list of places that had a lot different tech than today. They had, we had electric cars. We had personal transportation like scooters and things. It's not new. It's just being done differently now. Since you can recall a lot of that stuff, tell me about the airships. Do you recall much about those?
Well, number one, the Zeppelins were not the only airships. We'll start there. They had a lot more what we call hang gliders now. They actually had powered ones. I think they still have that. They have powered ones again now, but now they're using, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong on this one regarding today's tech, they're using essentially a small lawnmower engine.
Yes,
that's correct.
Okay, these guys were using back then. They were actually using what's the word I'm looking for? Not sonic, but they were essentially using a push engine, as in suck the engine in one end and pop it out the other.
An induction engine.
There's the word. Told you I'm not versed in modern day tech.
That's the name we have for it today. Is induction? Yeah, using electricity, right?
Yeah. Essentially, it was using a minor version of the OTE drive, but working on atmospheric air.
Right.
Yeah, we've also called them ramjet engines as well.
And there are no links. There are no links to show this because I have looked. And all I can find are, it was part of the Great Reset. I suspect.
Back in the let me think here. Back in the 1930s, the dirty 30s, that nice little time.
Yep.
Okay. They had some phenomenal maneuver. They had an engine that literally would not break down. It was a porcelain engine. It ran on water.
This sounds familiar.
You know, and and the only thing that bled off was carbon dioxide. And if it was burning too fast, you get a glass of warm water. You could wait till it cools down. You could drink the dang thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah.
This is the kind of tech that's been there forever, and they just quit.
Yeah. Nowadays we call that when you break they call that where you break water into hydrogen and oxygen.
Electrolysis.
That's the word. Okay. And that's something I was wanting to ask you. Say again?
Electrolytic converters.
Right. I know how to make one, but it's very basic. And I don't know how to. I've got the concept on paper and in my head. I need to put it together, but I got so much stuff going on. And
this is why you and I have to talk.
Yeah, I can vouch for you. Clear your area, clear your head, and the ideas will work themselves out. My area is not clear. I'm just coming to the conclusion I'm going to give a bunch of stuff away.
I'm in the process of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, electrolysis. And you brought up something. You brought up break it apart. Well, I kind of formed it in my own head. Break the water apart with electricity. Keep it apart using sound.
Yes.
I would love to do that. I would love to have a working something to do that.
See, that's the funny thing. We go back to the 30s, and what they don't tell you is they don't tell you about the military weapons that they had that were sonic based.
Mm-hmm.
You know, today they're using quite frankly, antiquated methods.
The sonic cannon.
I don't mind. I've always held that war has never brought peace. Brings quiet, but it doesn't bring peace.
Right.
Damn right.
Yeah. I'm taking notes, y'all.
I know that there was a lot of research into how sound affects the body that was done before the turn of the 20th century, and they discovered that's why a lot of the music that was done within those time frames, it touches the soul in a way that you really can't experience with the music that we have today, unless it's someone who's doing the music today has reflected and learned about the frequencies and the patterns that they discovered back in the late 1800s, early 1900s.
Well, I think the term is technopop works to a reasonable degree. Because technopop just tends to generate either anger or despair. Yes, but the fact it can generate anger or despair also means it can be used to generate, generosity and creativity.
Yes, but they don't use it for that.
I could not agree with you more there. I don't think I could.
Oh. Yeah, if you had the frequency for understanding and compassion, and that was the basis.
I understand the compassion part. It's the understanding of the race I have trouble with.
Yeah. But if you had the frequencies for understanding and compassion, or understanding / compassion, kind of the same concept, then you would, and that was the basis of the music that was coming out on the air, that would change everything to those who are receptive to it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're in your mental state, if you're just dead set on being an asshole, no sound frequency is going to change that, unless you use a high enough frequency with enough energy to scramble the brain. You know.
Well, that's just it. You can send out a sonic wave that will absolutely cure the problem of a-holish. Of course, it will liquefy the human genome, but they won't be an a-hole.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, they won't be anything anymore.
Yeah.
They'll be recyclable materials.
Yeah. When I was in college, I did a report, and it was for speech class, right? I wasn't researching. I just picked the topic because classes are boring, and I had to figure out how to make them interesting. So I chose secret societies and mind control. And boy, did I open up a can of worms.
Oh,
and
Lord,
I was looking at, it was for speech class and how to use Microsoft Office. And those were my topics. And I used sound. Sound is a complicated one because you can turn it off in your head. Just like you said, if you're dead set on being a jerk to somebody, being an asshole to somebody, there's nothing going to stop you except the liquefying sound. And if you are receptive to it, that's where it gets complicated. Because what I found, I don't have any of those notes. That was literally 20 years ago, another life. What I found was you use some sounds to get someone to be more receptive, to actively start to listen. And then you put the other sounds in when you want to influence them. So it's not one sound, it's a mixture of sound. We call that music. And I have been moved by music. The soundtrack to Star Trek II Wrath of Khan really really touched me, right?
James Horner is a master at creating emotional responses with frequencies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm presuming he's the guy who did the Star Wars thing.
He's the one that did Star Trek II Wrath of Khan.
Okay, sorry, Star Trek, yeah.
And now John Williams, he's the one that's done Star Wars, the same thing. You have those even the softest, gentlest background sound. It can affect you in ways. It affects you in ways that you're not really prepared for, if you're not aware that something's going on. Now, people like you and I, and we pay attention to what we're hearing. It's like when I was younger, I used to get paid every day to go into the computer lab. I went to an adult education center out of White Sands Missile Range. I used to get paid with something to drink and something to eat. I was a kid. What did I care? To see if anybody left any of the computers on, because I could hear it. So frequencies, and I can still hear when a monitor's on. Even the new LCD monitors, or QLEDs, I can hear that monitor's on. And that's just something that I was able to do. But for me, it made my teeth vibrate. So sound is very, it can be very effective, can be very damaging.
Well, think about it.
You got to be receptive to it.
You got to remember, and I've probably got the percentage a little off, but last I heard, the human corporeal form is approximately 86% liquid.
Correct.
Well, sonics will affect the ebb and flow of liquids.
Yes.
Okay. If you can figure out how to modify your sonic resonance, you can absolutely create a problem.
Yeah, that's something else. Go ahead.
They're using ultrasonics now to do some forms of surgery, and I'm not talking just like breaking up gallstones and crap like that. they're using sonics to cauterize without opening the tissues.
Well,
they're doing it from outside.
Well, let me put it this way. And again, I'm going to jump tracks on you here for half a second into the old game systems. But do you guys remember a game system called Space Opera?
Yes.
They had a weapon in there. It was a predecessor to D&D. Okay, but they had a weapon in there called the coagulator. Okay, and they made it sound like a toy, like a gaming thing. Problem is, it's a real weapon.
Yeah.
It literally works on sonics. It slows down the blood and coagulates the entire blood system. Now you can picture what kind of mess that's going to make on a corporeal.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah, and that's not the only. Now, as a weapon, I've been seeing a lot of these. I get a lot of information to start from places like TikTok and Facebook Reels and Instagram, where they mention the frequencies. If you want to astral project, if you want to heal, if you want to do this or that, listen to these frequencies. And first of all, it's not an instant. You turn it on and boom, you're projecting, or boom, your stuff goes away. It takes time because we have to adjust, right? Now, we're not a glass of water. If you take a glass of water and you hit a bell next to it, it's going to vibrate. We're a little bit more complicated than a glass of water.
Not really.
And not really, but the water has to be gotten to, and then all of it has to be affected, just like in the glass of water. The glass of water is one glass of water. You hit a bell next to it, the vibrations directly affect all that water. And
this is where you're running into a problem. You see, you're thinking, and it's understandable why, you're thinking in terms of the macrocellular structure. But let me ask you this. If I'm going to, and I know the people on the radio or that don't have video aren't going to see this. But if I'm picking up a cup, okay, what am I actually grabbing hold of?
You're grabbing the outside of the cup.
No, you're not. You're grabbing the subquantum level before you ever get to the cup.
True.
It's one subquantum level to the next. It's the same thing. And no, I have not managed to recall how to do this entirely. But having the cup here and picking it up from over here, it's the same principle. It's one molecule to the next. Same thing with moving the water in your body. Okay. The mind will move the water in your body and accelerate the healing rate. Because you got to remember, every subquantum cell is modifiable by the corporeal brain. Your cells don't have to be designed, have to do what they were originally laid out. They can be totally reprogrammed.
I've heard of this. Yeah.
People think it's a Marvel thing. It's been around for a long time.
I've heard of this. Actually, I read that in David Icke's book, how a blind woman was able to see through her fingers.
Yes.
I understand the concept of it, but it's hard to remember that stuff when I'm locked in this box. What did he say?
Absolutely agree.
Locked in this meat suit that has all the stimulus coming in, programmed a certain way, coming in a certain way. And it's hard to remember that stuff because the candle trick is a really good. I need to actually do that. Why do I never have that to do it? The candle trick is a good way to show that.
You remember that thing I keep showing people on air?
Yeah.
List works like a dang. There's no words for that, but I do my best not to.
Here's the quantum version.
Yeah. See, I'm in the process of reminding my body how to write with my left hand again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just programming. Yeah, we're pushed to do a certain way, but we can reprogram to do other things.
You're taught right from the get-go that you can't do a staggering number of things. You know, there's so much you can't do. And yet there was a guy in the States that went skydiving years ago, right? Jumped from 10,000 feet, a normal skydive. Both his regular parachute and his safety parachute candled. He landed just hard enough to flex his knees a little. And that was it. Then he went and repeated the process. You know, now if one person could do it, and rest assured, I never recommend skydiving anyway, but I certainly don't recommend skydiving without a parachute.
Mm-mm.
You know, I've never found a good reason to
perfectly
get
good airplane.
Yeah. Why would anyone want to jump out of a perfectly good airplane?
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
We all said the same thing at the same time. Perfectly good airplane.
It's your fault.
Yeah, it's quantum. I claim it. I own it. So, yeah, it's hard to break away from all these stimulus guiding us in a direction with the water. And I knew that. See, the subquantum, I call it quantum link. We're in it. We've got it.
Call it peanut butter sandwich.
I will go ahead and do what? Uh-oh. Keith?
What? Oh, I
didn't
said
hear what you
call it a
last said.
peanut butter sandwich.
Okay. Hey, Joe is in the chat. Hey,
Call
there,
it quantum
you.
link.
Yeah, that would work too.
Yeah,
Call it a peanut butter sandwich.
Yeah.
You know, Shakespeare
Call
put
it
it best
Fred.
when he said, "A rose by any other name would smell as sweet."
Mm-hmm.
Because that stimulus works that way.
Yes.
Doesn't matter what you call it, it still is the same stimulus. And that's the other thing that we have to deal with because we are a corporeal form. We are affected radically by exterior stimuli. Anything that can affect the corporeal form will.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much. For the most part, I mean, we can accelerate things. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah.
And I know a few people know about me, but the reality is you can accelerate your healing rate beyond the norm. Yeah.
I've figured out how to do that. It's crazy. The doctors think that I should be bedridden or something, like all the sick with anything. They're like, okay, well, we're gonna see you in a couple of weeks when you can't walk anymore, or this should be debilitating. I'm like, I decide against that. They don't get it. They're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, accusingly.
I all the time. I love the way my brother put it.
Huh?
I love the way my brother put it.
How do you put it?
According to the modern scientists, a bumblebee cannot fly.
Oh, that's a great
the wing
example.
Displacement just isn't there, right? But as my brother put it, somebody forgot to tell the bumblebee.
Yeah, I looked at bumblebees closely because I got a thing about honey, and oh man, they use resonance. They don't fly. Their wings are there to do a couple of things. The wings are there to stabilize and push it around, but it also creates a resonance, and it resonates with the local area around the flowers and the local area that they need to go through, and they hover using sonic resonance.
I'm going to take that one step further.
Go ahead.
The wings are their vocal cords. That's how they talk. It's not just the running around in circles.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and Keith, I got a thing for using honey I really like it, right? And we've talked about raw, unfiltered honey before. I got this friend of mine, coworker. He has beehives, and he got me some honey. And I told you this before too. He handed me the first jar, and it was small, and I wasn't very receptive. It was a busy day that day, but it was the best honey I'd ever had. And then he gave me the big jar, and it's like one of these big jars, a little jar, big jar. Yeah. I felt it. I felt it as he handed it to me. I was like, whoa. And it felt like, I don't know how to, it's hard to describe. It had a vibe of its own. And I could tell it was that little sense that I've been struggling to describe and get used to, that it had a vibe. And I was like, whoa. When he handed it to me, you can't liken it to something else. I said it was like handling a hot potato. It wasn't, because I didn't want to drop it because it was too much, but it had a vibe, and it felt so good. It still feels good.
Let me ask you this. Have you ever held your hand above the heartbeat of an animal, whether it's animal or human, doesn't matter?
Yes.
Compare that feel, and I don't mean putting your hand on it. I mean holding your hand above it.
Okay.
Okay. Do that and compare the feeling you get from that to the feeling you get off that jar of honey.
Okay, I will do that. And that, people, is what we call empirical evidence on the Quantum Show. Thank you, Keith.
No problem.
All these strange little things that... But anyway, I was getting back to... I will do that. I will try that. The resonance that they use to hover and communicate, they program that honey. The honey takes it. It's mostly water. Honey is mostly water. And it absorbs all that resonance. And it vibrates in such a way, it just feels. And it feels good. It's not like an electric toy, right? It feels good, like not against your skin. When you just put honey in your hand, it's sticky and it's sweet, and you smell it and it's overpowering, but it has a vibe to it, and that's the hardest thing I can describe. And Keith, for you and me and Frank and most of the people in the chat room, we understand the words you're using. Put your hand over the heart of an animal or a person, right? And you can feel a vibe. Same thing with the honey. The honey doesn't have a heartbeat. It does have a vibe. So for sure it has a vibe.
Bad news. It's not a heartbeat, but what you're feeling is life.
Okay.
I mean, I agree. It doesn't have a heartbeat.
I didn't say a heartbeat. I didn't say a heart. I said over the heart. You could feel a vibe.
That vibe, what you're feeling is life.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And Frank, you have a request in the chat from Joe. Frank, can you send me the link to his Joe Lawrenson? I sent you a link in email, Joe. I don't know if it's working or not. I sent 2 links. The first one was incorrect. Sorry about that, by the way. And thank you for pointing it out, Frank, because when I was in a hurry and I had 2 whole minutes to get the show all squared away. So
sure, I'll get it over to Joseph.
Okay. Here you go, Joe. It is on the way. So, man, we really went deep onto a topic that is relevant. I love it. And
well, we gotta get off that.
We went to, what did we talk about so far? The Great Reset, how we were using, what locomotions we were using before. We were using, what did I write down here? Oh, and we can't find any links for this. Induction engines, electric induction engines on gliders, and there are no links available. And talking about electrolysis using water to break it apart, I want to do that. I need to know know how to keep it apart using. There is a way to do it using no sound, but it's not very efficient. And at the same time, is efficiency relevant when you're talking about using water? Because we have a lot of water, but is efficiency relevant? Let it be inefficient. It's a closed system with almost unlimited fuel, water.
And that being said,
Shadow is coming in.
Hey, Shadow, how are you
Sorry, I'm late. I'm doing fantastic.
Oh, you're not late? Let me check
and
your sound.
Raven says her link won't work. And Frank is in the wings. I will bring Frank. Whoop.
Frank is here? Frank was here.
Frank is here.
Did you remove from stream?
No. Welcome to the show, Frank.
No, what happened was I'm using my, I'm on
Raven,
my cell phone,
I will send you another link.
and it times out.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, let me check.
And I did send that. I sent that to Mr. Joe in Facebook Messenger if he wants to grab it from there. If that'll work.
Okay. I will send you another link, Raven. Yeah, you have to refresh. Okay, yeah, me and Raven, I get on a tangent and I talk about this stuff, and Raven is very receptive. She talks to me about it, and I'm like, James Webb is a Death Star. It's a great reset. I was standing outside work, just doing this into my phone. How do we know this? And she's like, well, how do we know? I'm like, I don't know. Okay.
See, people talk about being a reset, but unfortunately, what's not happening is people aren't taking the hint that you can't have a reset and turn around and do the exact same thing all over again and expect a different outcome.
Yeah.
Oh, the definition of insanity.
Yeah. If it didn't work the first time, what would make it work another time? Hey, Raven. Oh,
hi.
How are you, Raven?
You're way. I got to adjust your settings here. Okay. Okay.
Shadow and Frank are both gone.
Is someone else in settings? I got this. Raven, welcome back to the Quantum Show. Give me a sound check, please.
Check 1, 2, 3. You hear me okay?
Okay. Yes,
I can.
Perfect.
Great. Hi, Keith. How are you?
Perfect.
Hey, Raven. How you doing?
Great. Good to see you.
The gang is all here.
Yeah.
Almost.
All right.
Yeah, we're all here because we're not all there.
Yeah.
I haven't been all there
Joe
for a
is saying,
long
looks
time.
like it's going to. Okay. Joe's saying he still doesn't have a link. I'll send him a link in Messenger too.
Well, see, I can safely say this one ain't my fault.
No. This is pure human tech right here.
Are you so sure about that? Is it truly human tech?
No. I am not sure about it. Wait. Oh, right. I got those messages. To Joe, your link is in Facebook Messenger. And also, as to your last messages, talking about, we were talking about the Mercury project. And he needs more factors that he doesn't know for safety, so he doesn't blow himself up or his Arduino. And I don't know voltage, current, or frequencies. All of that is literally to be determined once I put a thing together. And like anything, one point of data is an anomaly. I need to do two to correlate with the other and see if I do it this way and if I scale it up this way, what scale appears to be in use. So anyway, there you go. Your link is sent. Yeah. Like, I'm not even going to get into it. Frank, you know what I'm talking about. If you build one small device, will it do the same as if I scale it up? How do I scale it up using?
You have to determine the power scaling in order to get the effect that you want, in order to maintain the effect that you have with the smaller object.
Yeah, it's kind of like trying to shove a fire hose amount of water through a garden hose and hope it works.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't want to blow anybody's hardware up. Well, not on purpose anyway. Not people I like.
My brother did that years ago. My brother built a scanner, like a virus scanner, that if he ended up with a virus on his computer, his scanner would hunt the original computer down that the virus was built on, and cook the motherboard.
Okay.
Yeah,
is there a problem with that?
Nice.
I didn't think there was any problem.
I like that.
Raven's got a kid.
That's a nice setup. What?
Oh,
Raven's got a kid. Fuzzy four-legged one, but it's a kid nonetheless.
This is Loki. If you got something to say, he's being very naughty right now.
Didn't you realize he runs the house?
He does. He really does. He runs the house. He gets to do whatever he wants. Okay, just then lay down here and be good. I got 4 little squeakers in the bathroom across the hall that I'm having to bottle feed right now. And so they may come in a little bit later. Get off my desk. Come on. Please. Sorry about that.
Look at the bright side. He's not on your keyboard.
Yeah, that's true.
Yet.
Usually do. Come on.
Well, this is true.
Sapphire is in the Elf is in the chat room saying if you scale up, you need higher voltages, and I'm like, yes, but I don't want to build an actual Vimana. I want to have a little Vimana, not
it's
big,
still an actual
not
one.
big, little. It is an actual one, but it's not the ones that they did in India. I have cool things like plastic and polymers to work with. I don't have to work with stone.
Well, you also want to at least have it a 2-seater, right? You want a 2-seater?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to have a shuttlecraft. I'm just going to have my own personal speeder bike. Then I'm going to have a shuttlecraft. And I can't wait for the backlog. I'm still getting weird things happen because of me working with Mercury and all the keywords, but these aren't coming in on electronic means. I had somebody say, my spirit guides are telling me all this stuff about Mercury and I don't know what it means. Do you? And she told me, and I did. It was like, whoa, that's cool. I'm on to something. But yeah, that happened. I wish I could make this stuff up.
You're onto something or you're on something.
Yeah, I wasn't going there.
Oh, let's face it, you went there.
I'm not on anything.
Yeah. That's one of my primary assignments in this lifetime is I go there.
Not a problem. I just I was just there in my previous stream. If you guys know what I'm talking about, I just don't want to portray the wrong image for this community. It only opens up the possibility for negative comments and negative opinions about what we do.
Yeah. And this is why, and that's a lot of the reason why I don't try and explain a lot of what I go through.
Well, if we were to start advocating the usage of certain party favors, that could be taken a lot of bad ways and not too many good ways.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that can get your show shut down in one heck of a hurry.
Right.
Depending on how much coverage you're getting.
Did I miss something? I've been sitting here the whole time.
Frank's not on something comment.
Oh.
Huh?
When you said you were onto something, I asked, "Are you sure you're not on something?" And
it went sideways from there.
Some people will see that as promoting illicit consumption of
party favors,
illegal.
Here we go. The Sideways Quantum Show.
Okay,
we've gone sideways.
That's just terrible.
Let's recover.
Now, Raven.
Okay.
Just being a good co-host, Nathan. Watching your back, man.
Okay, I'm tracking because I was like, "Whoa, what?"
I know, I was lost too. Okay.
No, I'm digging Frank's humor. Speaking of Frank, how's that dragon treating you?
That dragon is beautiful. Haven't got started on it yet because, as I said, I'm waiting for my tools. But once I get it put together, Lynn's going to take a crack at the paint job. She's incredible when it comes to doing dragons.
Awesome. I look forward to seeing it, man.
We'll make sure you do.
And, you know, if you want a good chuckle, look up our video where the little guy who was just a squeaker himself, I think he was 11 years old, 12 years old when he painted that. And, you know, anybody can do it. It's 3D painting by numbers. And it's just such a great way to unwind. Everybody should have a tactile hobby like that, you know, whether it's building birdhouses or, you know, coloring books or you know, miniatures and things like that. It really allows you to really unwind in a way that very few other things allow, especially in the creative aspects. If you're into this channel, I guarantee you've got a creative streak somewhere in you that's just aching to get out.
Yeah, you're just trying to figure out which venue to go down.
Exactly.
I mean, I get a kick out of it because each one of us comes at this from a different angle. But we're all, I mean, basically we're looking at Rome. All roads lead to Rome. You just may have to take a real convoluted road to get there.
I prefer the all roads lead to Amber, but Rome is a nice substitute.
I don't know where Hamper is.
Amber is a set of novels by the late great Roger Zelazny. I'll hook you up.
Yeah,
he's a really good friend of mine.
Have to read.
You won't regret it.
Oh, it's not a question of regretting it. It's a question of I'm just not much of an avid reader.
I asked Raven, if I read for more than 20 minutes, I'm in a coma. It's the best sleep pill I ever discovered. A good novel and a comfy position, and call it a night.
See, my brother used to go through, he would read a full-size novel once a night, one novel a night. And then he would remember word for word, page for page.
Oh, that takes the fun out of being able to reread the book, man.
Reread the book? No. Unfortunately, that mine passed away about 1.5 years ago.
Sorry to hear that.
Mine, on the other hand, passed away about 60 years ago.
Hey, Justin, welcome to the show. How was the after party?
Hey, Justin. Yeah, Joe is saying that he has not gotten a link from either one of us, and I sent him a link too. I'm going to do Facebook Messenger again.
Welcome to the world of technology.
Joe, I'm going to send you a link on Facebook Messenger.
Is Joe going to join us after all these years?
He's trying to.
Oh, that would be a unique experience. It's been too long. Now all we got to do is find a way to squeeze in James L., get the band back together, and go on tour. I can already picture Raven with her tambourine, right, guys?
I have one.
That's why I said it.
I used to play keyboards in a band.
I played bass and screamed into
the link, Joe. I'll send it again.
Partridge Family doesn't have anything
I
on
got
us.
you on.
Not even a smidge.
Joseph, Joseph, I
Okay,
sent it to
the
your
link
email.
is sent
Maybe
to your
you can find it
messenger.
there.
You sending it to Joe Lorenzen?
I sent
Like
it to
not
email
Joseph,
also.
but just Joe. If you look in the chat room, Joseph
I only have
gave you
2
the
points
new
of
link.
contact. Let me look here.
Yeah, Joe, I sent it to your email, so maybe you can find it there.
Oh, okay. I didn't. I sent it to Facebook Messenger. It says you were on there 10 minutes ago. That's on Facebook Messenger though. And I don't have another email address for you. That's okay. Okay, well. Gee.
You weren't
That
expecting
is
this to be
okay.
easy, were you there? Were you there, Nathan?
You know, I thought it would be easier since I actually did planning and preparation.
Oh,
What is this planning and
But it's
preparation?
the Quantum Show.
what were you thinking?
Planning, preparation?
I
What?
should know better.
Bad Nathan.
Didn't you realize
should
plan
know
is a
better.
4-letter word? You know, plan and prep
Yeah.
are both 4-letter words. You're not supposed to use them.
Yeah, I should know better.
Justin.
Taser tag. I've never played that game.
That's a violent version
Taser?
of laser tag.
Justin is either incredibly good at it or it explains a whole lot about the man.
Yes.
No, he's just got a different idea on fun.
Oh, of that I'm certain. I hang out with Justin on a regular basis. And real quick, Justin, you were freaking phenomenal tonight. And then
Yeah,
I
I was in your chat room for a little while, but unfortunately my system started, like my personal system started to tank.
Is that code for you needed to use the restroom?
No, it was code for my blood pressure was still all over half acre. It finally stabilized. You know, the worst case scenario, my blood pressure at one point hit 157 over 141. This is just plain stupid, but didn't kill me, so what the heck?
Well, thank heavens for that.
Well, they keep shipping me back anyway.
Oh, hey, Raven, real quick. Remember those dragons we ordered?
Yeah?
Well, I got something in the mail that wasn't dragons.
What is it?
It was apparently like a pair of sunglasses, and I'm betting dollars to donuts when I try to make a claim because I didn't get my dragons. They're gonna say, "Oh, but we shipped it to you, and tracking number says it arrived yesterday." And I'm gonna be like, what fresh heck is this?
Yeah.
Like, I need another pair of sunglasses.
Oh God! This ad that I found in Pinterest had these big, tall dragons that light up at night, and they were like what, 4 foot tall, 4 or 5 foot tall, and they were on clearance. And they said that it was a clearance from what store was it? It's a
Bed Bath and Beyond.
Bed Bath and Beyond clearance, and they were like $14.99 or something like that. And I was like, oh, what a great deal! So I sent him a link, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna order one. And so I didn't get anything in the mail today, so we'll see what I get. So you got sunglasses, right? Huh? Oh,
you're
God.
gonna get
With a nice case. Just the exact style of sunglasses I hate, of course. But these dragons were epic. I mean, they were, like you said, I think they were actually like 6 feet tall, solar powered. You know, for $14, of course, they weren't going to show up. I mean, just gorgeous. And I got sunglasses.
Well, that was very nice.
I guess one lens for each dragon, I guess, is what they were thinking. That, or I'm just getting random stuff in the mail from secret admirers. I don't know. It just absolutely
Oh, I can't wait to
Garbage.
see what I get then.
See, I get random
I know,
things
right?
from secret admirers too. They're called the power in the phone company.
They secretly admire your bank account. Understand?
Well, I
They
use
do not have your
PayPal,
best
so
interest at heart.
I'll just file a claim with PayPal. They're usually pretty good about that. If you paid with PayPal, you've got nothing to worry about. Because
My bank's usually pretty good. It's usually pretty good. But something I got to do first thing Monday. Not looking forward to it, because it's going to take 5 minutes out of my busy schedule, or should I say nap time.
oh my.
Naps are the greatest invention of mankind. Say what you will about Mexico. They did invent the siesta, so they're aces in my book. Chadwell, I've got to get your address. Oh, okay, no problem, Justin.
I don't know if they invented it, but they sure capitalized on it.
I've spent many a day in Mexico, and I totally get it. Regardless of the time of the year, 3 o'clock is the perfect time to take a nap. Just saying. I think that's what time they take their siestas, but yeah.
That's the siesta time down there from my understanding.
Oh my gosh, Justin, that's so funny. I need some of that laser tag gear then that administers a shock for these raccoons that are right outside my door right now, as a matter of fact.
Why don't you just ask them to not take all your stuff?
Yeah, I have. I think they've opened a thrift store of their own with all my stuff. They ran off with the plates, the bowls, and stuff off the deck now.
They're having a tea party. I guarantee you find them. They're gonna have a tea party, picnic all laid out. The possum will be there. A couple of other raccoons you've never seen before. Probably a couple of rabbits. All the forest critters. And of course a couple of those giant spiders that you live nearby.
Oh yeah. I wonder what they do.
Man, I want to meet some of those giant spiders.
Oh, no, you don't, Nathan. These are poisonous spiders. I had a brown recluse this big. No kidding.
Oh, that's not a giant one. Go to Australia. They reach 6 feet. They reach the size of your door.
Oh, I could not last in Australia.
That is the reason.
Right.
That is the reason Elon Musk invented the flamethrower that he did, was just for those things. Those wildfires in Australia keep having? That's because people got tired of the spiders.
Yeah, and shotguns don't work well.
Well, a shotgun will work if you use Hellfire rounds.
The Dragon Breath? Absolutely. I am a big proponent of the Dragon Fire round for your shotgun. If you don't have one, go get like 500 and take them out to your nearest lake, or and take them onto your boat and just fire one of those up at nighttime, straight up into the air, and watch it come arcing back down. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
I would really recommend, if you're on a boat, do not fire straight up into the air.
Yeah, you're right. That's why you got to arc it. You got to arc it.
Yeah, I mean, you're welcome to do it that way.
Although, Keith, that actually, to be honest, that would be a great way to use the line, "I lost my gun collection in a boating accident."
Yes.
I was messing around with some Dragon Breath rounds, and I lost the whole boat too, Mr. ATF agent.
Yeah. I know exactly where it is, but I need scuba gear to get it.
Trust me, that's not a problem. Justin says, "Oh wait, my money's on the spiders. The Australians already lost a war to a flightless bird." Sorry, Dave. We'd still say this if you were here, but you're not. I don't know why. Maybe you are. I bet James L's lurking in the chat. He is probably literally number 11 in the chat. Just like, curse you, Yanks.
Yeah.
Great Hellfire.
Hey, I'm glad you made it, Shadow.
Me
Shadow,
too.
I'm glad you made it. I am talking about.
Oh, I just had an extra long chat with the guys. A couple of people came in like literally the last minute, and we could not end it like that. So apologies, but I'm here, and guess who else is here? Hey, wait a minute.
He was here for a second.
Guess who else is here? Long time no see.
All right.
Hey,
well,
you're looking sharp, bud.
Glad you're feeling better.
Yeah.
I usually feel with my hands.
I'm just going to leave that comment alone altogether.
Okay, hold up.
Probably best, because I'm sure we all had something weird to go through our mind at the moment, just different. We should probably everybody just pop it out real quick and get it out of our system. But
yeah, but that's going to go sideways in a hurry.
Like that's never happened.
Oh, God, no. This is why I tell people I never question, am I going to get my foot in my mouth? I always question how I'm going to get the other one in there with it.
Because we are the absolute soul of professionalism here.
Well, you do, of course, realize what a pro is, don't you?
Okay, if you say so.
Pregnant retarded ostrich, yes.
Yeah.
Which is so weird because Keith and I both, I mean, I literally came up with that when I was a kid of like 11 or 12.
You know, and the same time my brother did.
And I never heard it from anybody else ever in my whole life till I met you, and I'm like, we are brothers.
Yeah, my brother would have been 65 this year. Yeah. He died just over a year ago. Right. And he's the one that came up with it. Or at least that told me about it.
I heard the ostrich, but I didn't hear the P and the R. What was the...
Oh, pregnant retarded.
Pregnant retarded ostrich.
Yes, a pro.
Okay.
It's kind of like an
your own
expert.
rubber ducky.
Well, that works too. It's kind of like what an expert is. An unknown drip under pressure.
Okay.
Oh, Nathan, technical difficulty. No volume, can't hear you, but he knows.
See, Nathan's only the host. He doesn't have to actually talk.
Welcome to my show.
Yeah.
Because literally I'm taking over the show.
No, he regularly has to redo the connection with his headset.
I think I have some spare of those.
I'm telling you guys, spending all that money on big fancy computers, I'm doing this off a $200 tablet, and I almost never have any problems.
I'd be much more impressed if you were doing it off an abacus.
Right, but I mean, where do you buy an abacus these days?
You know how to make one.
They'll send you one from China.
They actually, there's an educational resources store here in Las Cruces called Alpha Teaching Tools, and they sell abaci.
See, I gotta remind myself how to use one of those. Never did get my mind wrapped around a slide rule. But I
never have enough money to warrant using one. So.
Yeah, well.
I mean, I get $10, 10 fingers.
It works.
Nathan, you are muted. According to what we're seeing here, you are.
Why do I get the picture of Nathan grabbing this hammer and just looking at the keyboard going, what do you mean hit another button?
Justin, I wish I could, but we're at a full boat right now. One of these days we got to get you on though. And if we're feeling really, really froggy, we can get you and James L. and it could be a cage match.
No, Nathan, just tell your computer that
everything
it
off
needs
for
to
Apple
behave
iPhone.
itself.
No, I'm just teasing. They're great guys. They just bump heads occasionally, but you know, who doesn't do that? Well,
Nathan, just tell your computer that
right
it needs to behave itself, or you're going to take a very large axe to its motherboard.
Right back. No worries, Justin. Oh, here's a scan. Right. Well, because I have admin privileges.
That would do it.
Now you have the
Which
opportunity
we do need a couple of backups for that. I nominate Raven. 1, 2, 3, not it.
Well, see, I'm lucky. You don't want me working on your tech.
Oh, it's just a couple of button pushes, you know. Earlier tonight, Justin was there. Some joker, you know, wanted into the show, and I never know who some people are. Like James L. He'll always change his name. This guy, you know, wanted to come on the show, and then immediately, you know, tried to troll us, and then I kicked him to the curb.
I heard that.
Yeah, he's tried to troll the show before. I'm flattered that I actually have my own stalker now.
He said his name was Filbert.
Yeah, Filbert.
Like,
who
names their kid Filbert?
The parents. Filbert was quite a popular name back in the middle 1800s.
Isn't Filbert a type of nut?
I thought it was cheese.
That's the point.
Isn't Filbert a type of nut?
Type of nut? I don't know.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Joe. Well, he was definitely a nut and needed to be cracked.
He's already cracked. That's why I was trolling you.
Yeah, I politely escorted him to the door and asked him to not let the door hit him, or the good Lord split him, and that was that.
Back in the day when I
guess that, you know. Go ahead, Frank.
Back in the day when I was on Hazy, we were running our shows. We would occasionally have the less than kind individual come in and try to start crap, and
hey, there we go.
You know, some of them, you know, I would just have to track down their IP address and block it.
Yeah,
I don't mind it. It you know, it breaks up the show, gives us all something to you know, or someone to laugh at. It's just, you know, out of, you know, all the people that watch the show, you know, eventually you're going to come across somebody who's, you know, just, you know, jealous or, you know, frustrated with their own life, and they need to take it out onto other people that they secretly are, you know, jealous of. So I'm just going to, you know, chalk it up for the weird type of compliment and get on with my day / night / whenever we end this show, which will probably be morning.
Well, this is why I've actually put moderators in at all, is because unfortunately I don't spot whether people are being honest, whether people are being sarcastic, or they're being a pain in the neck.
Well, you end up kicking me out real soon, then, aren't you? But I'm always cracking wise.
It's not a question of people cracking wise. There are people that wander in and do that. It's the people that are being argumentative, or, you know, prove this, prove that, or no, you're absolutely wrong. You know, or, you know, when you say this is my opinion, an opinion cannot be wrong. You know, in your world there, Shadow, we've got a member of the gaming crew that I keep having to tell him 2 rules in a gaming table, and it applies to 2 rules in a chat in a live stream. Rule number 1, DM or the host is God. Rule number 2, If you have any question at all, see rule number 1.
Double amen. You got that, Raven?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, just remember that God does not mean deity in this case. God means game operations director.
Yes.
Hey, you're spoiling my delusions of grandeur.
Oh, no, you can keep your delusions. A label doesn't matter.
We all know you're perfectly delusional there, Shadow.
Without a doubt, certifiable.
Just like the rest of us.
Justin says, Raven the admin, ha ha ha, the world burns literally down.
I hate to be the one to tell you this, guys. No, I don't. But my 3 shrinks have all told me I'm perfectly sane.
Second funniest thing I've heard tonight. No, it's funny. Lynn's ex, Billard, was evaluated for his sanity, and he was found to be completely sane.
Who was this?
It was discovered that
driving everybody else nuts.
Millard. It's Lynn's ex-husband. And he said he was completely sane. Yeah, well, we discovered the reason why he's completely sane is because he's actually a carrier. So while
like
it doesn't affect him, it affects everybody else. Yeah. You know, he's Typhoid Larry in this case, but you know.
Oh, okay. No, I've got to stay a bumper sticker on my fridge that says I don't suffer from insanity. I enjoy every minute of it.
Oh yeah. But sometimes it does get in the way of certain things. You know?
Yeah, but that's when you come out with the idea of don't bring your reality into my fantasy.
Exactly. Everybody's trying to do that, though. It's annoying. You can't fly. Okay, maybe you can't, but
I'm not good at it. I'm not good at it because I keep making a mistake and going, I'm going to lie to you now. Apparently, that's not a good way to start off a lie.
You're not going to believe this, but that's a real good way to start it. Of course, the funny thing is, a lot of times you say, you're not going to believe this, but, and then they believe it because you make it sound so reasonable.
And that's a good way of doing things.
We need to get you guys a couple of avatar icons so we know which is which.
Which guys are we talking about?
I tried to upload one from my phone, but it was giving me a bunch of hassle, and I don't know. No, I'll try again. Let's see here.
And here comes Nathan. Apparently, Nathan's icon is a swirling little white mote of light.
He's hypnotic. Just stare at that light.
He's quantum.
Yeah, I fell for that before.
Well, we can see your thumb work. Does your voice work?
Let's see. Does it work?
Yep.
Sound check.
Something.
Okay, good. I'm back. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Quantum Show.
Welcome back to your show, Nathan.
Glad you could join us.
So Nathan, you were trying to tell me something a moment ago.
Oh, man.
What was that? I swear to God, if it's get a haircut, I'm going to slug you.
I wanted to talk about... Oh, no way. No, I'll never damn anyone to getting a haircut. Never. No, I was wanting to it was Project Bluebeam and the Spark Projector. and the Great Reset.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Did you hear? Okay. Go ahead.
No, I'll tell you more about the spark generator later, but do tell.
Okay.
Please continue.
Joe, is he here? He left. Dang it. Okay.
No, I didn't.
Because he had me look up the spark projector years ago. Oh, here he is. He's still here.
Joe's
okay,
here. It's Frank who popped out.
Okay. I'm. Let me. Joe? Do you remember years and years ago? You had me read about the spark projector in Popular Mechanics magazine. Because I did.
Not in detail.
And it never
right
left
now.
me. I just hadn't. Right. Well, it was a long time ago.
Right.
You made me do a lot of studying, and I loved every bit of it. Yeah. I was never able to figure out how to exactly project images and things like that. But I did pick up enough. Now I know, right, that I can disrupt those images that are being put out there. Is everybody going offline or what?
That's not all you can do with that, Nathan, but we'll get into that later.
I hope.
Yeah, I can't figure it out, right? I can't figure it out. What I know, okay, here's an example, right? I know how to power on a light bulb, an LED, a motor, build a motor, but I don't know how to build a 12-cylinder engine. It's kind of the same scale of things, right? I can't do that, but I can do a lawnmower engine. I can do an AC generator type of thing. I don't understand a spark generator as far as projecting images of my own. Like if you know how to do that, max headroom all over those fake aliens. Okay, go aliens? No. You know the pirate broadcast of max headroom.
I know which one you're talking about. I just never took to it.
You know, what used to get me is that Popular Science and Popular Mechanics would have articles on things that were supposed to be top secret.
Mm-hmm. I never understood that either.
I think it was Popular Mechanics that my dad told me had an article on antimatter. Which apparently way back in the 50s, in the 50s, they lost a couple of buildings in Toronto because the containment field collapsed. Just vaporized a couple of buildings.
On that.
Try that again.
I would love to have an article on that to read.
I have no idea where you'd find it. Of course, the guy that told me about it has not been with us for 5 years. Sorry, 8 years now. Yeah, he went in 2016, he passed. Yeah, my parents used to tell me that before, Justin, about getting a haircut. And, Shadow, I recommend you do the same thing. Just tell them, look, I can't decide which hair to cut.
I love each and every one of them individually. They're all unique people.
Now, if only you could get them to work like Medusa's hair.
Yeah, I would end up strangling people.
Well, I'd say that wouldn't happen because you got control, but that's probably where the problem would be.
Yeah, and
I
would torment my four-legged friend here relentlessly with it. Isn't that right, boy? He's sitting here being a cutie.
Just don't forget that four-legged friend does tell when you sleep. And has no compunction about retaliation. And Nathan is going away again.
Yeah. Yeah. The dog knows when you sleep and where you sleep.
Yes, we had a roommate.
We had a roommate years ago who decided he didn't like our new Jack Russell Terrier puppy, and used to, he had a bag of Doritos. He refused to share. She wasn't happy about it. She barked at him. He was on crutches, so he kind of pushed his crutch at her. She took off.
That's a bad idea.
So that night, she laid puppy bombs going down the hallway to the bathroom. And when he was when our roommate was home, he didn't like to use his crutches, so he literally threw himself across the room. You can guess where he landed. Every place where he would normally land when he was throwing himself across the house, there was a puppy bomb.
And people say dogs don't have a sense of humor.
Well, it was a Jack Russell Terrier.
Well, yeah. That's just that. That's kind of like a Siamese cat. It's just a fuzzy four-legged furball with attitude.
Yes. And a vindictive streak.
Oh, Lord, yeah. But name one Siamese cat that doesn't have a vindictive streak.
His name is Bambi.
I mean, aside from ones that have died. Not hearing
You're painting it too broad a swath. You're painting it too broad a swath. What cat doesn't have a vindictive streak?
Okay, I can give you that. Oh, we did have a cat that didn't. We had a cat named Tipsy. He'd walk across the floor and he'd fall over in the middle of the carpet. And you could literally drag him around in circles on the carpet.
We had a roommate before that had a cat, a Himalayan. Man, this thing loved to grab butts. You're sitting in a chair with an open back. That's your target.
Yeah. Buddy,
no worries, Nathan. We'll keep the lights on for you, Nathan.
One night her owner made this truly horrible dinner, and it was very gaseous, and the cat decided it was going to attack. Yeah, well, I violated several rules of the Geneva Convention that night.
Yeah. No, my buddy had a Mancoon that used to have the same attitude.
Mm-hmm.
They have catitude, all of them.
Well, they do.
I have one that thinks he's a dog, and he wags his tail like a dog. And then, always when you're trying to carry something up the stairs, this cat will run in between your legs or around you, and then just stop, come to a dead stop right in front of you, and just throw himself down and wants you to rub his belly, even though you've got your hands full of groceries or whatever. And it's a miracle he doesn't get stepped on more often, but yeah, he does that. Always when you're carrying something. It's like, oh.
Well, think about it, Raven. There's no point in doing it if you're not carrying something.
Well, yeah. I guess not.
What? You will pay attention to me. Yes. I am the Lord of the Manor.
He's just so funny how he wags his tail. He just wags his tail just like a dog. Constantly. He's so happy. He's a little happy guy.
See, we had a cat when I was growing up that had it backwards. I'm sure it wasn't all home because its back end would stay stable, and its front end would jump back and forth.
Oh.
I'm pretty certain the poor thing wasn't all home. I think that's where we come up with the idea of having the tail wagging the cat. And Nathan is trying to come back in.
His own show.
Cross your fingers.
I wonder if it's my friends again.
This is fascinating, watching him go around in circles.
You know, running around and round and round and round and round and round.
Sounds like my life.
Life in the squirrel cage.
Well, somebody's having a good time.
That sounds like a Lynn Ann.
It sounds like a Lynn Ann got loose again with her coffee.
Uh-oh.
And now I'm in trouble. Oh, well.
Pretty bad they know your laugh.
Yeah, it's amazing. I've been actually doing really good with remembering people's names lately.
No sneaking around in the shadows for me, huh?
Nope.
Nathan, you're at least visually back.
Okay. Good.
There.
Well, y'all aren't yet on my phone. Over here, it's perfect, but I can't see anything over here. Okay, it's coming back. It jumped on Wi-Fi, and I had to turn it off, and I had to redo it.
Mm.
Yeah, it was actually weird. I couldn't open this. I couldn't open
How
these
about
links
now?
on Chrome tonight. I had to
We
use
can hear you.
DuckDuckGo.
Well, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Well, Starheart has a question for us.
Okay, am I back?
You're back. Nathan, Starheart has a relative question, pertinent question. So how do you think it will go, the societal reset?
Yes.
Over my dead body.
Oh, I'm fully convinced that they'll do the reset and have exactly the same mess they had before. They've done it multiple times. And they always pick up right where they left off, rebuild the same flawed setup, have the same flawed people running the same flawed setup, and net result they come back around and go, oh, we've got to do a reset. But yeah, I mean, mankind's been doing that for centuries.
Yeah, we just sort of addressed that, Justin.
I like his question though. You know, does anyone know what the topic is?
Yeah.
All motorcycles.
Race cars.
Project Blue.
Oh man.
Sorry, you said that sounded motorcycles.
I'll
My
just
mind
type
went
and
down
I'll
the
listen.
map and coping with it.
You sounded pretty good.
I'm aware of that, Justin.
I love the white noise.
Be careful with that, Shadow. That is copyrighted material.
I don't think. I'm hoping he's not trying to claim it's his.
Do I look like Alex? Come on.
Do you look like what?
Well, on the plus side there, Nathan, it's all messed up. It's not just a little bit.
Hey, but on the bright side, we now know how to engrave your profile for all the the new coins that'll be minted.
I hope they'll be better back than most of the modern currency.
Coins. The Fed is planning on issuing debit cards.
Yeah.
No.
They've already started it with Social Security and other benefits.
Yeah, I still have my original Satan Sin card. Yeah, they're not pulling that one on me twice.
Yeah, my original SIM card here is a little bit of a little worse for wear, but I've still got it.
System identification numbers.
You see, we Justin just
pulling
put
it on
there,
a Friday.
Yeah.
So
Justin just writes in there. He goes, "Don't worry, the Nathan coin will be minted in a worthwhile resource. Clay." See, and then if you think about it, we take enough of those little coins, we can turn them into a clay golem and have a lot of fun.
I was thinking more like pigeon.
You were thinking of a lot. You were thinking of which?
Pigeons, as in clay.
Ah. Well, you can do that too.
Oh.
See, I do know of a coin that used to be made centuries back. And I don't know why they made a coin that size and called it currency, but the dang thing was 6 feet in diameter.
So you get, 4 of them to make a cart, so you can carry the rest of them.
Yeah,
well, they did have a square hole in the middle.
And if you were, not so wealthy, you just make a rickshaw.
Now you can always make a wheelbarrow with one.
I don't want to shoot ever, Nathan. Perish the thought.
Well, that's the idea. If you're going to shoot somebody, make sure they perish. Otherwise, they're just going to be annoyed and they're going to come back looking for you.
Yeah.
Okay, what have you done with the real Nathan?
Here I am.
That's
Can you hear me now?
That's not the state approved background.
Yeah, I know, right? I switched devices. This is actually the tablet. I can barely see what you're seeing right now. So I'm going to...
Well, it's okay, so can I, but I find that when I'm driving, too.
Oh, joy. Okay, I'm just... Yeah, I give up on using the phone right now because this may not work very well. Dark Lord
Nathan, my favorite Nathan.
I got to ask Nathan. If the phone you can't see anything on because it's too small, if the tablet's too small to see anything on, how do you possibly see anything on your phone? Or is it like one of the original cell phones?
Oh no, it's a decent new phone. It's just I have to keep it so far away to get a good camera picture. And I don't know what you're even seeing here.
I got 5 people on screen here and one occupied empty hatch, which I think is Frank.
Yes,
okay.
It is.
Okay. All right. Well, can you hear me okay? Sound okay?
Yeah.
Good
all hail Emperor Nathan.
Yeah, I didn't do that last Emperor I dealt with. I'm not about to now.
That's classic, Nathan. That's classic.
Okay, anyway, the last thing I heard before all the sound broke up is what is the topic, and what are we gonna do about the reset? And then I heard some of you talk, Keith, and I heard some of everybody else talk at the same time. So,
well, you heard enough. That was about what the topic was.
Oh, is that how it went down? Okay, but a little while ago, to bring us back, I guess, was I asked Keith, and he told us about not the different kind of aerial travel we were using. I asked about airships, and he says we used more than just airships, and I took notes. It was about induction engines, which NASA is working on now for space. Why can't we have those now?
Working on it now.
They're working
for like 50 years.
I bet they've had it for 100 years, because NASA was something else before they were NASA, and there was a big reorganization of the government, all the federal bureaus, all the federal agencies, FCC, FAA, FDA, etc. That all happened
or
about
FUA,
the same time.
But,
those all happened around the same time frame, and it was NACA.
This is why I said NASA had it 50 years ago.
Yeah,
because they weren't called NASA before that.
Yeah, they were before it was the NASA that we know. It was NACA, and I looked it up. Yeah, I looked it up. National Institute for something.
Why does that sound like a Muppet skit?
The quantum Muppet skit.
Phenomena.
You're going to have to define what you're calling an induction engine, because an induction engine.
You freaking read my mind. One of these nights, we're all going to have to sing that song together.
Okay, but an induction
came to a
engine
conclusion a long time ago, Shadow. I don't sing.
Okay, Joe's up.
Okay, an induction engine to me is a motor with its windings in the center and the magnets on the outside.
Okay.
It's being used all over the place.
Right. That is not right. I'm having to adjust your stuff way up. Your gain is low, but that's okay. Yeah. What they're talking about is what NASA is talking is the ion drive using a microwave emitting cylinder.
Okay. The problem with that is the amount of thrust it develops. In space, it would be very useful. Here on the planet against gravity, it's not going to be all that great.
Right. That rung a bell just now. I remember reading about ancient India tech, not Vimana. They had something, they used a copper sleeve for something. It was a big copper sleeve. It wasn't. Okay. Accelerator cannon, you said.
Well, yeah.
Well, there's a
because you take a copper pipe, right? You charge it properly. Now, I'm no mechanic. I'm no engineer in this lifetime. But you take one and you run the right energy, it will suck the air in the front end and fire it out back end. The resulting equal and opposite reaction is your ship goes forward.
Yeah, that's something that I believe is forgotten, lost tech.
Yes,
and
it is.
I have a feeling it has to do with frequency, the frequency or the mix of frequencies, or maybe even a frequency set to make the electricity that's going in possibly sound also.
That's because they're not supposed to be using electricity.
Okay. I don't know what else to use.
Is that similar to the Hampton engine now?
I'm not sure.
The OT Hampton engine that I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, the Hampton engine has
the same thing.
Yeah. It has a long tube in it, but it also has fins at the back for tuning.
Yeah. That's so that it can actually steer. Otherwise, what you've got is a missile, and you're in trouble.
Hampton engine. I'm going to have to look that up.
You probably find it under Hampton Engineering. They use it mostly right now for heating and cooling.
Okay. I'll have to check that out because I'm reminded of a thing that I saw a long time ago where they took, imagine a tennis racket and it's made of copper mesh. Okay.
Yeah.
And then it is positively charged. And then on the other end, you have the battery, positive charge to the mesh on the bottom. And then on the top, you have one wire going across the top. It is negatively charged. The ions shed from there zip down to the grid of positively charged copper and drags the air along with it. That is how I understand that.
Ultimately correct.
Okay. I would like to know how to do this again, other than the description I just gave. I've seen, Joe, you've seen it too, where someone took basically that setup, but instead they used the wire on top, but instead of a mesh down below, they used a triangle made of straws and aluminum foil going like that. And they ran it, and they had to arrange it a certain way up top, right? And it pulled the air down. But the thing was, there was no air moving. The thing lifted up and tethered against this battery wire, and it stood there. It stayed there, and it was even stable. It was even staying flat. And somebody put a piece of paper under it, and there was no draft. So we've talked about this before, and I still want to know about that. I want to do that. Hell, I should just do it right now. I got 12-volt battery sitting right here. I don't know if it'll take 12 volts, though.
Couldn't tell you that part.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hang up on you guys. Oh. I just got to go double check and make sure the Munchkin did what he was supposed to.
Okie doke. Okay. So we have technology from back in the day that has been forgotten. And I suspect, now this is just me personal, right? I suspect that since we have been able to relearn stuff, we learned it in a different way according to the books that we have available to us now. And that excludes things like spinning mercury, ion propulsion, because those aren't in the books that we know. Those aren't according to the rules that we have established in this go round. Okay, Justin is up there. Okay.
Not a Hampton engine, it's a Hamilton engine.
Hamilton.
Okay. And it's used almost in every air conditioner.
I'd like to find that out.
You know, if you've got Freon in an air conditioner, it's being used. It uses the Hamilton engine principles.
Okay. I will check that out. And Justin is saying, no, they tested those on Mythbusters. There is a draft. It does do oh, wow. Things just jump. It does do an induction vacuum, but the problem is no matter how big you make them, they have no lift capability. Because I think that's only part of the device that they are building. And the other parts aren't present because we lost how to do all that stuff. I want to know about that cylinder drive. The copper cylinder. I want to know about that. I need to look up that. I need to look that up, and I'm going to find out. Okay. So that was that part of it. And now
that backwards, get yourself a copper cylinder and a steel ball. You get yourself you can just drop it through air if you want to. Drop the steel ball and measure the time it takes. then drop the steel ball through the copper tube.
It'll go slower.
You'll be surprised. Much slower. Much.
Yeah. It'll go slower.
In fact, it's really a common physics demonstration in high school.
I've seen that demonstration. I've seen it. I know exactly what you're talking about.
But it's the same principle, but backwards.
Yeah, see, getting it to work.
I returned back.
On a large scale. Welcome back, Arky. Okay. And Justin, yeah, I have put together the foil one. It didn't do anything. Well, it didn't produce any thrust. Not as far. I mean, it moved a little bit of air, but my rig was a little jinky, and I was using low voltage, so that might have been part of it. Okay.
I'll find an old television set and grab the flyback out of it. Either that, or let's see, an old furnace transformer.
Pull your mic down a little bit, Joe, if you can.
Oh, there it is.
Much better.
There we are. A furnace transformer. Let me see. A neon sign transformer. Any of those would be good sources for high voltages.
Okay. And I
just do me a favor when you do that. Wear your rubber-soled shoes and stand on a rubber mat.
I don't mind if he doesn't do that, but if you're not going to do that, would you please get a camera out first?
Okay.
Some of us like entertainment.
Right. Man, it really is dark. Barely able to see myself. Okay, so
I'm surprised I can see myself here. I'm in a dark room.
Not by the lighting I'm looking at.
You look like in a very lit room.
All we got is the television on over there.
Perfectly lit
from
room.
the screen. Entire room.
Must be all those infrared cameras watching you with the bright lights that you just can't see.
You talked about that earlier, but you know as well as I can, well as I do, at least on these electronic cameras, they put an infrared filter in them. You can take them apart and remove that filter.
Mm-hmm.
One company sent out their cameras without that filter, and there was a bunch of people complaining about taking pictures of people in the nude.
Oh, I'm looking at. There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
If you remove that filter from your camera, that would be a spotlight.
Mm-hmm. It has a filter. I'm guessing it has a filter on it.
Yep.
Here.
They're required. All it takes is one person coming up with something nice to play with, and they have to remove it from the market.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happened with the lawn darts.
Ooh,
it was a great game until somebody decided to try an interesting stunt with them.
The iPhone does not see it at all. It's a high quality camera, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got a high quality filter in it too.
But then my cheapy little thing here does see something.
Hey, don't push the computer off the bed.
Oh, did I turn your computer monitor off? I'm sorry.
I think it's a little brown dog over there.
The little brown dog's upset that I'm still up.
Oh. Did
I
she
hate to
come
tell her
get
this.
you?
Surprised I'm still up.
No, she didn't
Well,
come to
actually,
get me.
that's entirely
I'm in her room.
Oh,
Oh, that's a problem.
well, I'm glad you stayed up for the show too,
Let me
Keith.
see that little brown dog. I love
Well,
it.
grabbing that extra hours nap kind of helped.
Oh, yeah. But okay, yeah, I wanted. Well, we were trying to stay on topic, but seems like it wasn't meant
How's
to
that
be.
working for you?
Yeah, it wasn't meant to be because.
Well, let's get back to Project Bluebeam.
Yeah. Okay. Project Bluebeam, the false flag alien invasion, thought of at, I believe, during or the end of World War II. That von Braun warned against it. He told us it was going to happen. He said that they're going to try to use extraterrestrial intelligence as an attack to scare us, shake us all up, so we can have total control. And my main question, first hour, was, what is to be gained by total control? Am I missing something? Because we're starting to wake up. Go ahead, Shadow.
Well, because you have to picture their desired goal. Their desired goal includes the 15-minute cities and peons like us living there, while they live in their palatial mansions just outside in their giant million-acre farms where they control everything and pick and choose who they're going to order into their bedrooms and dinner tables, etc., to indulge their sickest fantasies with us as the menu.
Okay.
See, unfortunately, this has been done before. It's never worked.
Okay. There is another thing that it had occurred to me as I was setting up both of these shows today that I brought up earlier. I brought up Jared Phillips, and it's not aliens, it's worse, it's us. That he said there are so many people now that the group consciousness is getting room to work again. Is that why they're trying to reduce the population so they can keep us asleep?
The population is self-reducing.
Think of it this way.
Just like when you put too many rats in a cage, or too many mice in a cage. You let them breed and breed and breed. They'll reach a point, and then they'll start dying off.
Well, here's the thing. 50,000 years ago, and I can't prove this, 50,000 years ago, we had over 10 billion people on the planet. There was no war, no greed, and minimal fear. There was no jealousy. But what we did have was reality was built on mental cohesion. Which meant that if we desired something, we just thought about it and there it was. You wanted to talk to somebody in what now amounts to Australia, you thought about it, you were in contact. Not a hive mind.
Yeah, but every 15,000 years or so, this planet goes through its own reset. We don't have to worry about the political people doing it.
Yeah, you're right.
Right, but what I was getting at is Justin says, well, he says that there are enough people that we're starting to wake up, and so many people are. I got the idea for spinning Mercury, and I don't know why, right? But it came from the ether or the quantum link, and
or it could have came from memories.
What I refer to as the neural net.
Right, the neural net, not a hive mind where we're all connected to each other, but a neural net where, like a network connection, you have the primary, which is our computers, our cameras, what we're doing right now, our phones. Those are the primaries that we are using. The back end work is negotiating the protocol, making sure packets get through. That part, the back office stuff, seems to be what he was referring to, and what you're referring to, Keith, is the neural net, where we're consciously doing something, we're subconsciously doing something else in support of what we're doing. and that so many people
Ultimately,
are on
yes.
the that so many people are becoming to be on the planet that now there's enough memory to start building, just like in a computer. There is enough memory for those old programs to start working again.
By the way, not just the people.
Well, you know, 10 years ago, we were on a population increase. If you look now, we're on a population decrease.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that is behind every agenda out there, is to decrease the numbers, because we clearly have massive swaths of land just waiting to be populated. We are not running out of land or resources. We're running out of willing participants to gatekeep and govern and police the people. If you notice,
you'll love this one. There's another massive shortage, according to one person I was listening to the other day. There's a massive shortage that I never even considered. Apparently, we are running out of gravity.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
You know, I fell down the other day. That's got to be the cause of it.
You would have fallen up.
Well, I was doing my Joe Biden impersonation going up the stairs. So.
Yeah.
But I am starting to think that the reason they're the powers, the elites that want to decrease the population, they want to keep us from achieving the next level of conscious, subconscious thought, the neural network.
The ironic part is they're not aware of what it is.
Mm.
What they are aware of is people are starting to notice what they're doing.
Yeah. Our conscious network, the social networking. Yeah, the social networking stuff we're doing.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have noticed lately when something happens and it becomes a story, and you like happen to check out the story, let's say on YouTube. Like, let's take that song that came out about 2 weeks ago that I shared with some of you. I listened to the song. Next thing I know, my feed is full of literally scores of other people reacting to the same video, and it was like the only news story available for a cycle. Well, that also spreads not just like it does on YouTube, but by word of mouth or by word of phone call, etc. When something comes out, it spreads so fast that they almost can't, put a stop to it, because there's just so many people out there willing to share it with one another. It's getting harder and harder for them to rein it in. Like, when I was asking folks about had they heard about the mask mandates coming back? Now that's all I'm hearing about. And all the people I'm hearing from are saying big couple of these to that concept everywhere I go, even bumping into people in the real world. I was at the bike shop Friday, and that's all they were talking about. I didn't bring it up. I was just minding my own business, and they're talking about it. And of course, I joined in the conversation, but they just cannot clamp down on a story they don't want out anymore. It's literally spreading exponentially faster as every day goes by.
Ultimately, yeah. I mean, you've got the only way they're going to slow that down is take the internet out of the equation.
Yep. Which is funny because I've been hearing a lot about the impending EMP attack by Russia and China, when we all know darn well it wouldn't be them doing it. It would probably be someone a lot closer to home. You know what I mean?
A certain array up in Alaska.
It could be that. It could be that. If it has some pinpoint type accuracy, absolutely, because they're going to want to keep certain things on and everything else off.
One video I saw, and he was reporting as a contractor that went to Antarctica. They passive, I think it's a neutrino observation.
It's not actually
passive.
It's not passive.
Right. That's what he was saying. It's not passive. It's actually, go ahead, Joe.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm interested.
What this guy was saying was that is the primary published function of it, is to be an observation station, but it also can be used as a directed energy weapon. That's what he was saying. I need to link that video, find it again. It's one of those damn quick videos. You watch it, you hit like, and then it disappears forever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know what you mean.
And it's like they're turning our social ability against us by making things like TikTok, where you cannot go back and look at it again and dig deeper. So that's why I stick.
Oh, that's why.
Huh?
I wonder. I noticed that. I wondered why.
Yeah, you can't go back and look at it again.
Yeah.
Luckily, Facebook and Instagram, they both let you go back and look at what you have seen recently. YouTube also. That's what I'm. But it's like they're turning those things against us, to where we get the mental serotonin burst, and then it goes away forever.
But you realize that's going to trigger another issue.
Go ahead.
Yeah, withdrawal.
Nope. It was something that was coined years ago. Had nothing to do with COVID. But it was another type of mail that was developed in England, called Wazzy mail. Walk and say it.
What is that?
If the internet collapses, people are going to turn back to talking to each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know it's a weird concept. So many people in today's world don't understand that you don't have to have a phone in your hand to actually communicate.
Right.
Well, you know what? In this room of you guys, huh?
Living proof right here, like I just said, at the bike store. You know, my family, they're absolutely, perplexed at why I do that and spark up conversations with complete strangers, because it needs to be done. That's what we were meant to do. We're meant to communicate. That's why we have the most complex languages that, we can come up with to express and trade information and ideas. We need to keep doing that, and not just, like we are here, but out in the real world.
Yeah. I do the same thing. I end up talking to everybody I run into. Of course, I don't run into many when I stay home.
Well, quit running into people. They get offensive when you do that.
Well, yeah, but it's so much easier to drive on the sidewalk than it is on the street. You don't run into nearly as many cars.
A lot less potholes too.
Yeah, that too.
Mind you, we don't have manholes. I worry about
craters.
What about blue roofs?
That's a
reference. Yeah, that's a reference to Hawaii.
Yeah, that was a frequency thing.
Yeah, frequency thing. I don't know hurricanes had frequency settings.
Oh, yeah.
That's news to me.
Oh, yeah, especially if you bomb them with a nuclear weapon.
Okay. Yeah, the blue didn't burn. That is a frequency of a directed laser. Lasers can be tuned.
Yeah, that's what I Googled. And they also talked about how the certain color of a wave, when a higher one meets the lower one, it will cancel it out. And they had a term.
Joe, you have talked about that before.
Yeah, that's good old 0 point energy.
Okay, so is that why then the blue things in Maui didn't get destroyed? Like the blue umbrellas and the blue vehicles?
Trash cans.
I believe so. I believe so.
I
when
think
you
that
think about it, that would make total sense.
And
yeah.
There's something I learned today about palm trees. Palm trees actually have a sap that is a flame retardant. And they're the bark.
Some can go up like a friggin' matchstick though.
They will burn, but it takes a really, really high temperature, really a good flame to get going on them. because they also have more water in their bark than regular trees.
I like the fact that so do cacti have more water inside than trees do. But I'm a little twisted in that department. But guys, I am working on a whopping 3 hours of sleep tonight, including the hour that I grabbed earlier.
Okay.
No worries, Keith.
Well, thank you for joining the Quantum Technical Difficulty Show.
I do want to say thank you so much to all you guys and everybody listening. And we will catch up again.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Happy trails, buddy.
Okay, take care, guys.
All right, Keith. We'll talk to you later.
All right, then. Now our windows have shifted.
I don't remember my clipboard. Where'd my clipboard go?
Well, you know, I live next to the San Andreas, so I'm used to it.
Yeah. Hawaii was totally an inside job, and that brings me to another point I brought up regarding that was the James Webb Telescope. The public base of the James Webb Telescope it's exploring the infrared universe. I get it. It's cool. Everything about that is cool. However, it is a mirror. It is a gigantic array of infrared heat reflecting mirrors.
Death Star.
Let me ask you, Nathan.
Yeah.
Do you think that the Reagan-esque Star Wars ideas went past China without them thinking about how they could use it?
No. Now that I think about it, no. I think they probably picked up on the idea and said, "Hey, this is a great idea we can do."
Yeah, they put up a lot of satellites recently.
Yep, and James Webb is the example.
It would be foolish to think that there's only one. You know, like the not great, but the movie Contact. You know, why build one when you can build two for twice the price? Right. I'm certain there are multiple things orbiting right now, capable of all kinds of, you know, chaos.
No, the first one is your expensive one. That's your prototype. Right. That's your expensive one. The second one is half the price of the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But the point still remains that there are probably countless things up there capable of doing horrific things to or to whatever the controllers want. You know, there are other things that could be done that would, you know, not bode well for folks like us, you know, if they chose to, you know, activate them. The rumor that they have cameras that can, you know, see a dime on the sidewalk if they want to is just an example of what they can probably do. If they can see it, they can track it, they can bombard it, they can incinerate it.
We had to carry our manuals. We had to carry our manuals from building to building in good old white laundry bags, because we were afraid that the Russian satellites would be able to read our manuals as we carried them from building to building so they could find out who was who.
Interesting.
Take care, Justin.
Now, there's another possibility.
And yes, send that link, Justin.
There's another possibility for the origin of that energy. Didn't a certain Indian space station recently put something down on the moon?
Yes.
Yeah.
India. They have Chandra 1 and 2. Chandra 2 was a failed lander. Chandra 1 is in orbit around the moon right now. As far as I know, I don't think they brought it down or let it wander out.
So how long do you think it'll be before we start hearing rumors of the dark side of the moon?
I've heard rumors for years, man. Not in the mainstream.
New ones.
There's already rumors of the dark side of the moon. What are you talking about?
3 days. 3 days. from now, 3 days. So
mark your calendars, folks. Yep. All right. I've got
it's a full moon on the 30th. What do you know?
Yeah, I'm going to go with sometime it's the first week of September. Let's pick Wednesday, first week of September.
I'm going to write this down. Dark side.
Are we going to put money on our bets, or shall we do that in Messenger and not completely dox ourselves, so to speak?
Well, we're not monetized, so I've got.
Yeah, but online gambling,
Oh, right. There we go. I wrote it down. Dark side stories on my Doctor Who map.
All right, I got my calendar out here. Let's see now.
Wonderful. Doctor Who. Okay.
Let me see what my date. It's just for prestige.
Right. Just for clout. So I got Wednesday the 6th.
I was gonna say 1 day, but then something occurred to me. It said 3 days. Dark side stories. Here we go on the Quantum Show. I know everyone can sure read that on my excellent quality camera. All right.
And we lost Frank.
Oh, I can see more. What do you know? Holy crap.
And here he's back.
You got him?
Yeah, I got him.
Okay.
But ciao. Welcome back to the show, Frank. So what's your day in the pool for Dark Side of the Moon stories coming into our local media feeds?
Nathan, you sure the lander didn't make?
Say that again, Joe?
Are you sure that the lander didn't actually land?
It touched down on Chandra 2, right? Not this current one. This current one, they're up there, and it was successful. Chandra 2.
I'll forward it, Justin. I just can't do so on this device right now.
Thank you, Justin. Okay, Chandra 2 made it to ground, but what was reported was the retro thrusters did not fire in time, and it crashed, and it was stuck in the wreckage. I believe that was 2 years ago. I was sitting at my computer going, yeah, come on, land that thing on the moon. He's coming and going. He's trying to get back in.
You there, Frank?
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I evidently pissed somebody off because I lost both internet and connection to my Bluetooth at the same time.
Oh, you were just about to give us your pick on the pool for when we're going to start hearing Dark Side of the Moon stories in our local media feeds.
Yeah, as Ashley said, it's just for prestige, but I figured if we're going to hear anything, yes, it will be on the full moon because that's when all the lunatics come out.
I
Myself
picked it
included.
randomly. I picked it randomly. So
okay, so if you two win, you have to split the winnings equally. Those are the rules. I don't make them up. I'm just playing by them.
I'm going to bet 10,000 Bitcoin. 10,000 Nate coin.
All right, I'm going to go with the 14th.
Ooh, that's a bold strategy.
Okay.
Gonna give it some time for it to be disseminate, huh?
I'm going to go with the 14th. That is the new moon.
Looking for Dark of the Moon.
September 14th?
The Dark of the Moon. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. I'm actually going to write this stuff down, so we'll keep track.
I'm expecting you to.
Okay. So far, me and Frank are on the full moon on the 30th, 3 days. Raven, you are on the new moon on September 14th. Who else has got something else?
Just
September
put my
6th.
birthday down.
September 6th.
Moon stories.
What made you pick September 6th?
Just random intuitional type guess.
Good guess.
And Joe, I don't remember your birthday.
Well, they've August 2023. Scientists map 1,000 feet of hidden structures below the dark side of the moon. www.livescience.com.
Grab the link, send it. You can post your mod. If you can grab the link and put it in the chat, I will save it and put it in the show notes later. But Joe, I don't. Well, so today, you're saying today, right?
No, it's already gone past. That was the 18th.
Joe wins.
Man, I was looking forward to all those Bitcoin, man.
Let me see. Is there a Bitcoin icon? I'll send them to you right now. They're worth every penny I spent on them, okay?
My Bitcoin piggy bank is a little low, so.
Okay,
and by a little low, I mean non-existent.
Yeah, these Bitcoins will only go up in value from 0 to the next 0 to the next 0.
Winning.
Did you get it?
I don't know. How did you send it?
Private chat?
Facebook message? Oh, okay. Let me see here. Yes, got it.
You can post it for everybody else, but
go ahead. Yeah.
I don't know how from here.
Oh, I will.
And if I turn on my Facebook, we get echoes and.
Right. A link is in the chat. I have it saved in the show notes. And yeah, I love that.
So they beat you to it.
Yep, yep. And was it the Chandria 3 that found them?
No.
Who found them?
Let me go in the article.
Okay.
See, it hadn't even landed. This was on the 18th.
Mm-hmm. Let me see. Oh, I might be able to get it there. Live Science link. I can't believe this is working. I'm on Wi-Fi. I actually use the phone to not be on Wi-Fi.
China's Chang E4.
Chang.
And its rover was called YouTube.
Okay. I'm trying to speed read this stuff.
It's equipped with a technology called lunar penetrating radar. This device enables the rover to send radio signals deep into the moon's surface, said the lead author. So
basically, they did an MRI on the moon.
I'm pretty sure the moon is completely healthy.
I don't know. I think it's hollow.
Somewhere.
I'm not seeing. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything about structures. I'm seeing not structures, the structure of the moon.
Take a look at the title.
Talking about eruptions.
Scientists map 1,000 feet of hidden structures deep below the. In the first paragraph, was able to visualize.
Okay, it doesn't say anything about structures. It's talking about the structure of the moon.
The layer cake of structures that compose the 1,000 feet.
Clickbait.
That's still structures.
Such clickbait. Thanks.
Now the craft is able scientists to visualize.
And then later in the article, it says the structure of the moon. And
scientists use these echoes or radio waves to bounce off the underground structures.
Yeah,
and create a map of the lunar surface.
Fine dust, and then it goes on talking about ejecta. Yeah, it's talking about it's likening it to geological stuff.
Yeah, tectonic formations, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so not structures like artificially made.
Well, they consider structures. They consider crystals. They consider crystal structures.
Yeah. So there we have it, people. The bet is still on.
So there was somebody at NASA had so what was his name? He used to be on Coast to Coast all the time, and he had witnessed them whiting out things, and said they were doing that again with Mars. God, I can see his face, and I'm trying to think of his name. What?
Hagen?
No.
Paul Hagen?
No. Hope.
Hope is no. Hope was English.
No.
Department of Minister of Defense.
No, this guy's a researcher. He worked at NASA for a while. Hoagland.
Okay, Hoagland. Okay.
John Hoagland.
I believe it's Hoagland. Yeah? Is that right?
Yeah, it's
I recognize that name.
He used to be on Coast to Coast a lot. Like around...
Hoagland.
Yeah, Hoagland. Okay, so he had smuggled some pictures, I guess, out of NASA as he was leaving. And there's one that shows, like in the distance, just like as the curve of the moon is, it's way, way in the distance, but you see like a little tower sticking up. And he showed those on Coast to Coast. There was that one and another one that the whole moon landing thing actually happened, but what the version of it that we saw was something that was done and filmed here on Earth and out in Sedona because of some of the technology they didn't want us to see, and because of some of these structures and the UFOs. Apparently, they had some visitors. People were coming out to say, "Who are you guys?"
They were hanging out watching them, like, what are these humans doing here?
Yeah,
I remember this.
Yeah, John Hoagland, I think is his name.
John C. Hoagland.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, now the mainstream is going to be getting news of these things that we have known for a long time. And oh my God, it's going to be acceptable now.
Yeah. So the dark side of the moon, he said, there's several bases. They were there before us. That we took over one of them. And I remember him specifically saying how poorly it was decorated. It was decorated still no one had done any updated decorating from the 50s. That stuck out in my mind. But there are several ET races up there, and they didn't want us coming back. And I found it odd. Okay, so this is the one really oddity that can't be explained. Why did the astronauts take with them this olive branch that was done in gold, this little like brooch thing? If it were not a gift or a token of friendship, or the olive branch represents peace.
That was supposed to be the olive branch that goes around the reef of the United Nations.
Yeah, so why did they take it with
the
them?
public? No, it's supposed to stay on the moon.
Something to consider here. depending with the dark side, anything found on the dark side of the moon, any reporting on that, where's the profit? You see, if there's no profit, they won't report on it. If it will cost some money, they won't report on it.
Well, now they're discovering that we've got water on the moon. We've got all sorts of things on the moon that we didn't think we had before.
There's a wonderful video that I wish I could find. I looked for it a couple months back that I had mentioned on this show. It's called Celestial. And it used to be, you could see it on Gaia. That's where I first saw it. I looked up the producer. I looked everywhere, and it's been scrubbed from the internet. But it was a gentleman in Texas who's an amateur astronomer who has a really nice set of telescopes and a video cam and everything hooked up to it. And the moon actually has color. And what he photographed was amazing. The craters that we see in the moon were illuminated from the inside out.
I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, I was telling you
about that.
And I could not find that video, and I looked all through Gaia's archives and couldn't find it. It's been scrubbed. What is a big deal? I mean, why hide all that? The moon has some really strange things. I've noted just some different shapes that, okay, if the Earth is round, and I'm not saying it's flat, mind you, I'm not a flat earther, so don't take me wrong. The shadow, of course, of the Earth, you know, makes the shapes, you know, the moon waxing, waning, and all that kind of stuff. But there have been times where it has been like at a like a square, and then the little curvature, like almost like the letter J. And I'm like, how is that possible? With the Earth being a round object, the moon is a round object. It should be a nice little curved thing like we usually see. But I have taken pictures of it, but they didn't turn out very well because they were on my phone. But you can see it with the naked eye, and it's like, how is that possible for there to be sharp angles at the very top part, and then it kind of curves?
I might have an explanation for that.
Good. Do tell.
Many, many years ago, when my uncle, who had passed away several years ago, was standing outside his house in the middle of the night one night, looked up and could see nothing. There was nothing but black above him. And eventually, he was able to make out a large rectangular form moving across the sky. Now, when you were taking that picture, when you were looking, if that rectangular vessel, whatever you want to call it, was within your line of sight between you and the moon, then you may very well have seen that.
Oh.
And I think that was backed up by David Campbell and that experimental radar he was making that works on totally different principles than the regular radars.
David Campbell?
Remember that? Yeah. Frank will probably remember me telling him about it because he pointed it up at the sky and he had nothing but return. We're going, you're kidding us. Whatever it is so big it's covering up our view of the sky. But it was a dark night.
Interesting. There's just some strange things going on with the moon. That video, I'm just so aggravated I can't find that. It was beautiful. The colors that were, all those craters were like lit up from the inside, and it had these beautiful taupe and purple and even some pink hues to the colors, all very soft pastel like colors, and it was gorgeous. And yet every picture we see of the moon is just gray and white. Can't explain it.
Well, you do have to consider that what we see of the moon is filtered through our atmosphere. And the atmosphere itself blocks certain wavelengths of light. It absorbs it in the upper atmosphere, etc. So if it's something that's outside the atmosphere, you might see those colors, but inside the atmosphere, you're not going to see them.
But yet this guy was able to do it with a telescope and video recorded it.
If with the proper lenses, it could be possible.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
But also with the proper lenses, you could also put color in places where there isn't any.
Yeah.
So, devil's advocate there.
And you know, when you look at the moon in infrared,
color TVs, right, guys? Remember how the original color TVs they it was actually a lens that they put over the TV where it would be blue at the top and green at the bottom.
No. He's talking about frequency lenses, and and you know, all you have to do if you want to see some of those pictures is just Google colors of the moon.
I did Google that. I got a bunch of them.
Right.
So yeah,
it's amazing what we can do with it. Yeah, it's amazing what we can do with optical delusions, as it were. You know, you can make anything look like anything if you really work at it. But you know, most people don't want to go to that effort.
You know, like if you put an infrared lens on your camera and look at the moon, you're going to see, you know, the craters, the heat retention from the craters, and they're going to bloom out color, where as you go outward, it gets more and more bluish in color. Kind of opposite of what we see with our eyes.
You know,
the craters is dark.
I haven't tried it lately, and it's overcast right now because we just had storms go through. But I think I'll take the dicyanin and look at the moon on the full moon day in 3 days. See what happens. I'll use it as I'll make a video just to see what happens.
Here, not like what I saw in this video. Each individual crater was illuminated and had a different like watercolor palette of colors in it, and they all differed, so it wasn't uniformly all, you know, pink or a purple hue or anything like that.
Did you hit more images?
Mm-hmm.
You hit more images. There's a whole bunch of different ones.
I'm not seeing anything like what I saw in this video.
I remember what you're talking about.
Nothing yet. I'm still going through them.
Yeah, I remember what you're talking about, Raven, and I haven't heard anything about it since then.
And it's so bizarre that you can't find it anymore.
Well, if that doesn't actually surprise me.
So the amateur photographer was from Texas. I remember that much, and I think his first name was Jim, but there could be a million amateur astronomers named Jim in Texas. I realize that. I wish I could think of his last name, and I wonder if he put any more out. And he wasn't anybody looking for any, you know, fame or clicks on a YouTube channel or anything like that. It was just an amateur astronomer. Was like, wow, this is really pretty. This is really cool. But if anybody can find it, the name of the movie is called Celestial. Excuse me. These are nothing like what I saw.
You know what? I want you to look on IMDb for the movie. IMDb.
Okay.
Celestial. (2012) Jose Escamilla.
Yeah, that's it.
It's on IMDb. Where can we watch it? I'm looking it up right now. Right.
This is an absolutely fascinating documentary.
Jose Escamilla.
Yep.
Featuring some incredible imagery of the moon, Celestial brings forth lunar anomalies, including glass domes over craters with buildings and structures underneath, 6-mile-tall statues, even a tower that resembles the Eiffel Tower.
Yes, that's it. Bingo.
How do we watch it?
What is
I wonder if you could buy it from him. IMDb. Internet Movie Database.
Okay. Thank you. Well, that's a good resource.
See, I'm walking the line between you guys' age and the younger people's age. I'm Gen X.
That's a good thing. That's awesome. That is awesome. Yep.
I saw a meme. It was funny. That's what it was about.
Okay.
How do I watch this?
I was just looking up that producer too.
Jose Escamilla. He's a big paranormal creator.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the phone just decided not to do what it asked. I wonder.
You're not supposed to find it.
Nope. Let's see here. I'm going to see if I can buy a DVD from him. Jose Escamilla. Okay. Aha. Does anyone here have a Roku television?
No.
Because he is apparently on Roku. They make televisions. They sell them at Walmart. They're semi-smart televisions.
Yeah, you can also buy the device for any television that has a USB port on it.
Yeah, a Fire Stick or something like that.
No, it's a Roku.
Roku.
A Roku stick, yeah. Actually, my daughter has one.
Well, this is interesting.
Yeah, I've got one as well. If you can send me a link to my messenger, that'd be awesome.
Okay, so here it is. Why won't it? Okay.
Roku is not listing Celestial. He has UFO Part 3, The Greatest Story Ever Denied. Watchers 7, Physical Evidence.
That one's on YouTube.
Okay. Rods 2022.
How do you play this? Okay, so I've got it up on here. It's got add to watch list. I mean, see production, box office, and company info. What?
Where did you find the add to watch list?
Here at I am here. I'll send you the link.
IMDb.
Yeah, you're just
okay.
You're just setting up a list of movies that you want to watch, not necessarily that they're going to have it for you to watch.
Yeah, that's that.
It has 2 user reviews. Add to watch. Well, what the hell? Let's see what this says.
Okay. All right. Well, I found Jose Escamilla's movie, and it is not totally scrubbed from the internet because it's still on IMDb.
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad we found it here, but we can't watch it.
Jose Escamilla. Hold on. Celestial. Okay. Well, let's look at the user reviews here. Okay, from Antabla from March of 2018. amazing, but at the same time, a sad true story when I watched it because it reminded me of how the cabal elite has manipulated the people of the world during all these years to believe that the moon was just gray and dead. It certainly is not. The moon is full of activity and has colors. Love that review. From Stephen Leonard 1000 from 2021. This is an absolutely astonishing documentary in full color. You can see the structures and lights. It really brings the moon to life.
Has anybody tried the Wayback Machine?
I have not. I can't do
Has anybody tried the
anything when I'm
Wayback
doing
Machine?
this.
Well, what is a Wayback Machine?
Oh, Raven.
It's the old internet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yep.
Even though they scrubbed what's currently on there, the old internet still is on the Wayback Machine.
Yeah, if you look up
Oh.
something from 2008, it'll come up as it was seen in 2008, but it won't have working links and playable videos. But the front pages of them all are there.
okay. Here, kitty. Here, please get down.
Okay.
Okay.
So it definitely, I'm going to see about how to buy this if he has a DVD.
I'm looking at the back cover of the DVD. I found that. Here.
What? Okay, it's on Amazon. Oh man, this is cool. Currently unavailable.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, well, that is something. Okay.
And I'm going to go back to Gaia and look again, but it wasn't listed anywhere on Gaia, and that's where I had originally saw it. Oops, here. Could you please get down? You're driving me nuts. Stop it.
2012, right? Yeah.
I mean, it is such a beautiful, beautiful documentary. I mean, it's stunning. It's really stunning. And so it leads you to wonder, how is it that these large craters are illuminated from the inside out? There possibly is something to that rumor of how the moon rang like a bell when the Apollo landed on it, and the astronaut said it rang for over an hour or something like that. I'm not sure.
No, they purposely crashed the craft.
Yeah, it didn't land per se.
Okay, but that it was hot. They had to be hollow because it rang like a bell.
How long ago did you say you saw the movie?
It was in 2012, 2013.
Okay.
Everybody's computer is better than mine.
Oh, Nathan.
Me and Frank are the techs here, and my computer is bleh.
Right. You guys are the only techs. And I know how to repair it at component level.
Have you guys seen
and Joe, lately? Sorry, my bad. My bad.
Yeah, my screen's pretty messed up. Yeah. Yeah, it's bad.
What happened?
He said, have you seen my screen lately?
Oh, yeah.
And my screen is a tablet, so I don't even actually have a computer.
That's what I'm looking at. I mean, this is...
Okay, I'm back at 2013. Ancient Wisdom.
It came out in July of 2012.
July of 2012. All right, I'll back up to there and then. 2012. Gee, they didn't do very many backups.
I would try to look it up, but it would just scramble me here. And I don't know how to do it on the phone. I'll try it. So I can hear, but I can't see because I got another window up.
Yeah, they didn't do any backups in July. July is wiped.
What are you looking for a backup as? I mean, what are you looking for to be backed up? Any
Gaia.com.
Or
the whole website.
Oh,
right?
Gaia didn't exist in 2012.
Yeah, it did.
I'm looking at Gaia.com on the Wayback Machine, and it sure did.
Yeah, it was called. It was sometimes called Gaiam. For a while, it was when it GIAM Gaiam TV. Yeah, it was Gaiam for a while, and then it was changed to Gaia.
I see what you're talking about, Joe. Let's look at October 10th, 2012.
I'm going through everything they've got with the name Celestial in the title, and it is not here. It's just not
that
here.
May be a licensing thing, because didn't he pass away? Didn't he die?
Who?
Jose Escamilla.
I have no idea.
Okay, well, I can...
The actual astronomer, okay, the guy's name was actually Bill Bryson.
Okay.
Yeah. I see in Wayback Machine, I'm looking at Gaia Network, and it is there, but it's a bunch of links, and it's like a top directory, and it doesn't have clickable links.
No, I've got Gaia is now part of Gaiam TV. Limited access to 5,000 exclusive streaming videos. Gaiam TV 24/7.
See, metaphysics.
And
what does that fall under?
Then we have the articles down below.
Yeah, and
but
is there a chance that it would work? The link is clickable. What do you know?
You got it?
I'm working on it. I'm looking under.
Okay, I'm going into films. I'm going into films and series.
It would be either there, or if they have a category of documentaries, I think it's listed as a documentary.
Well, they're all documentaries.
Well, and they got the documentaries underneath the films and series.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, really upgraded.
But you see, July was all wiped.
July was wiped out.
That's interesting. Why in the hell would that happen? Huh.
Oh boy, the quantum show. What?
Space shuttle. Benji. Titans of the Savannah. Limits of Science. I'm going to go look at September because October is all wiped.
quantum astrology. Hmm.
I'm going to have to. Okay. They really have made it. A bunch of changes. Me and Amy are out of coffee again.
Uh-oh.
Deepak Chopra, Thrive 2012, Hempsters. Sorry for the lack of bing, bang, boom activity here on the Quantum Show, everybody, but this is what we do. See, we look stuff up. And we want to know. Yeah, I can't. Oh.
I got an HCP 302.
What's that mean?
It's taking me too long to crawl. Okay, was that July 23rd by any chance?
Let's see. Let me get back to that. It says on July 21st. The back of the video says 5 days after Apollo 2 took flight on July 16th, 1969, the world witnessed the moon as it appears from here on Earth. Great. On July 21st, 2012, TBLN Films will present the moon as it truly is, in its colorful glory. Celestial on July 21st, 2012. And that was the release date, I guess.
Yeah, I got nothing on my end. It's
nothing on July.
Okay, well, so we're back at the bets.
Hey, I got a question for you guys.
My birthday.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think they would hide that?
Yeah, that was
colors.
question.
What?
For information they wanted out.
I mean, they could easily always just say, just look up at the sky. You'll see it's just a big, silvery grayish looking ball of rock up there.
Well, it indicates somebody was inside the moon, though, since these craters are illuminated from the inside out. Then they'd have to explain that there's occupants up there, probably.
I suppose it depends on the colors. I mean, if it's just light, you know what I mean? If it was just regular light, they could just blame it on that. But if it was something like red or green, then that would be harder to explain, right? Like when we see a UFO and, if it's got red, blue, and green lights, you could usually just go, oh, it was probably an airplane.
Got you listed on the bet calendar, Joe. Got you. On your birthday.
On my birthday, okay.
On your birthday. At least the birthday according to Facebook.
When is your birthday?
Now. Okay. Project Blue Beam.
Yes. Yes.
So they're going to use, I am likening it to a great reset. They want us to be dumb and in line. It's like to come like
afraid.
Yeah, afraid and not awake to things. I did not say woke. Okay. I said not awake. Like humans in the Matrix that are in the pods. They want us to be like that. But why? Even though humans in the Matrix had a purpose, what was their purpose there?
Be
to
batteries.
be power supplies, right? To be batteries. What is the purpose? To keep us dumb, to keep us few in number. What is that? What is the goal other than someone sick, twisted? Because I don't know if that would be. I just don't see that as a reasonable.
When you understand the value, the monetary value of the trafficking industry, it's one of the largest industries on the planet.
Yeah, it's larger than the airline.
What better way to make it not only cheaper, but essentially free to the people at the top? Instead of having to, waste their money, they could just, order people and literally have them walk down the hallway and just, willingly go into the slaughter. Instead of having free range cattle, they've got slaughterhouses where they're just born and bred in the cage, and as soon as the door opens, we're happily, walking down the hall.
Kind of like I would say a baby mill, except for adults.
Except that you'd be more right, unfortunately, with the first assumption.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking puppy mill, right? And I was thinking of chickens that grown in cages. And then I was well, what do we do with humans? And what do we do? It's a puppy mill. But they don't sell the humans. They eat them, basically.
They just take them. Right.
Yeah.
And at the same time, get everybody to work better and more efficiently toward all of their other goals, like farming and construction and all the things they need us plebes for. We'll be more inclined to do what we're told, especially when we're on the digital, currency. And if we don't eat.
What?
They just use an AI in place of us.
Yeah. Yeah. And what better way to initiate the New World Order?
Okay. Trying to see what we look like here. Okay. Oh man. All right, I just don't even want to know then. All right then. Okay, so that's still going to be my question, because I just that the answer to what's the point just doesn't ring true to me. Maybe I am just so set aside from that kind of mindset.
You're good natured at heart, Nathan. You haven't seen the darker side, so to speak, and you have to understand that I don't want you to, but in order to get it, the depths of control they desire, that they crave and need to feel alive, so to speak. There are people that literally thrive off and need these kinds of affirmations, unlike the other people. The regular people, the normal people, the good people don't have these desires. That's why we have politicians and people at the top, because they desire those positions in life. They crave that sort of power and control and the accolades and the luxury and all the benefits that go with it. Otherwise, there would be no such thing, and those positions of power would actually be delegated, by lottery system. Okay, like jury duty. Okay, it's your turn to be governor. But since people actually crave that, those cravings get bigger and stronger as you get them. It's like being addicted to a drug. The first time, it's not only is it cheap, or free, but it's really powerful. But then those people keep chasing that same high, and to get there, they need more and more and more.
Yeah, I don't see that because I have seen some dark side, but I guess I haven't seen that aspect of it.
And they don't need us anymore, Nathan.
To be fair, there's two kinds of politicians.
Who's that?
They don't need us anymore.
That was Jackie.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute. Did we have somebody sneak in? Is it the CIA?
I'm here, and I heard the conversation, so I said there's two kinds of politicians.
Okay.
Elaborate.
You have Trumps and you have Biden.
Oh, God. Those are not the only two kinds.
Two old men.
No, basically, that is. You have career politicians that are only doing it for power and money, and pretty much their whole life that's what they're doing. And then you have people that see that there is a massive problem in the system, and then they show up to try to fix it.
Well
You
said.
got too few of them.
Yeah. Too few of them.
Not many right now.
I think they're doing other things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious for why you say they don't need us. I don't think it's a matter of need. I think it's a matter of want.
Yeah, Joe. What do you?
Well, they may
clarify,
want us,
please.
but they're only going to need like 50,000 of us.
Yeah, I think the Georgia Guidestone clocked it at 500 million, but
yeah,
fair enough.
Oh, now I know what you see.
Those
What
things
you
get
mean.
blown up.
Yeah.
Yep.
AI is going to be able to do the rest for them. You know,
But you're always going to need maintenance crews.
Not really.
You get AI to
fix
fix AI.
Well, who's going to turn the wrenches and you know, obviously
The
they can
AI.
get Roombas to.
Yeah, AI can make a robot to turn the wrench or make a robot wrench.
Right. If you mean by AI, you actually mean, you know, mechanoids and machines that can move around. Otherwise, when you just say AI, I didn't catch that.
No, I'm talking to the whole blooming thing of it.
Well,
You know,
I don't know.
Going to stores right now, you know, it's very limited, but I was in Savers the other day. There's nobody at the cash registers.
Yeah. Our same way, our Savers is the same way. I love going.
They just have you do the actual manipulation of the goods from point A to point B. I got that. I think they're hiding, you know, warehouses full of robots then, or they're just gonna, you know, roll them out after they've gotten rid of us. But I still
They have it. They're not out there right now, but they have it where they recognize the tag that's on the merchandise. You walk by and it automatically counts everything you have, prices it, takes it out of your charge card.
Oh, the Amazon store in China. I know what you're talking about. Right, you don't even
well, then
stop.
why even have anybody at all?
You don't need to.
No, I mean anybody at all. I mean zero, not just the elite. You know, that stands to reason that eventually the AI is going to figure that they don't even need the elite, and then you're left with nothing but an AI. You know, that's it.
And
just
replicators.
And are we sure that's not the reason why there's nobody to communicate with? You know,
No.
That's a dark.
Look at radio telescopes, and there's nobody talking out there. But if it's all AI, they don't need to talk. They're not concerned with socialization.
That's a dark thought right there.
Yeah.
I've heard that in lots of science fiction before. Every science fiction has done that. Hey, Vitska. Welcome back to the Quantum Show.
The Berserker Saga by Fred Saberhagen. The Berserker Saga by Fred Saberhagen is probably one of the originals. But I don't know. I think that's a little further down the road, and that the people at the top are going to go kicking and screaming.
Yeah, from there. You think you're doing? Oh my God.
Well, I got a little puppy who's again bothering me.
Oh,
and it's
is it
about that
time?
time anyhow.
It is that time, y'all. Well, thanks, Joe. Thanks for coming by. Obey
Indeed,
the
Joe.
puppy.
Really good seeing you again. It's been too long.
Yeah.
Don't be a stranger, man. Well,
Stay
go ahead and be
healthy.
strange, but don't be a
Eat
stranger.
garlic.
What? Don't be strange. What are you talking about?
I said, don't be a stranger. Go ahead and be strange, but don't be a stranger.
Whoa. Okay.
Stay healthy. Eat garlic.
Oh, just don't try to breathe the fire that you're using to. I don't know whether you know the technique or not, but you slightly burn the exterior of wood that you're trying to treat, and then you put oil on it, and no bugs are supposed to bother it because they don't like the taste of burnt wood. And
I do know
it was
that.
used in Japan.
I do know
But,
that.
I got too close to it. I got too close to it and actually breathed in some of the flamage.
Oh, yeah, don't do that. That's bad.
Yeah. All right, we'll catch you later.
Guys, Celestial is still on YouTube.
Okay, well, I know where I'm going after this.
I just found it.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Send a link to someone. Please send me a link, but I'll look for it on YouTube.
I'll drop it to you in Facebook Messenger.
Roger that.
Oh, good. Okay. I'm so glad you found it. Somebody's put it up the last time I looked.
I will forward it to you.
I have a tendency to find shit. Oh, I can send it to her too. I've got hers on my contacts list.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
Okay.
Let's see.
I will grab the link and put it in the show notes after the show is done. So I won't go directly there. I'll update the show notes. And okay,
Nathan, it's in yours.
Awesome.
Well done. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I didn't even think to look on YouTube.
I didn't even. I checked it before, and I figured it'd be there if it wasn't on Gaia.
I did a Google search using Celestial and Escamilla. And
I did that too.
Brought it up.
Damn Apple. Damn Apple.
What the heck? Raven, you're not on Messenger right now? Are you not on Facebook right now? Oops.
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Not showing up on my Messenger list. Oh, there you are.
Yeah, I'm there as well.
Let me see.
Okay,
I can try.
There's Raven.
There we go. Got it. Thank you.
Shadow. Boom. There you go.
Thank you. All right. Got it.
Got it.
I've got a T-shirt that I'm going to have to wear one of these days and let everybody see it. It says, that's what I do.
I'm still loading.
I fix stuff and I know things.
That's so true. Perfect.
Tonight's shirt is the path to inner peace begins with 4 words. Not my fucking problem.
Got the link.
I simplified it just to nope. Nope.
That's awesome.
There you go. There you go. Found it. Now everybody's got it. You can watch it.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
So.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. It's what I do.
I just need to find the time to watch.
Oh, it's less than an hour, so
that helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just under an hour. How does it only have? It has 18 likes. Let's pump that up right now.
God! That is only one. That is only one of the listings for that movie that's on YouTube. There are a few others as well.
This other person has it hosted. Okay.
Yeah, there are
show notes.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I find that when you're actually, I'm gonna have to write this down and then retype it back in, because whenever I get links like this, the volume is crap. Like Raven sent me something earlier today. Not only was the volume crap, but it kept stopping every like 8 seconds, and it was really, really, it was awful. So I just typed it in and watched it from my actual account, and it's much better.
Oh, I hate it when that happens.
The most recent entry on YouTube was November 24th of 2021.
Somebody else is on the same trail. Okay,
yeah,
Shadow, I sent it to you in
posted,
Facebook Messenger also.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was posted up on the YouTube channel of Ron T. Forsha. So that's the other one. It was done as a tribute to Escamilla and Bryson.
Okay.
In memoriam. So.
Diane, I just got your image too.
Oh wow, yeah, same here. Wow, that doesn't even look like the moon. Thanks, Diane.
Yeah, I can bring that up. I'll post it.
Yeah, I want to use that in a sci-fi game. Yeah, that's what you see. Wow. That's almost terrifying.
Let me see.
Let me pull it up here.
All right.
It's got like a sort of a cancer cell look to it, doesn't it, folks?
I will bring it. I'll put it on the show right now.
I can't find it. My screen is blank. Oh, there we go. Oh, wow. I can see it now.
Isn't that creepy looking?
Yeah, it is.
I'm going to take my comment down so I
can. This is an image of the moon?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have seen this one before.
Yeah, I'm kind of grateful we don't look up the night sky and actually see that.
Yeah, yeah. I agree. It is kind of disturbing.
Yeah, that's the word I was thinking. I am.
What disturbed. Is this? ESA, false color composite in photograph of the moon. What does that actually mean? I'm going to read, and I'm going to stop sharing that just for now. But I'm going to read it. What do they mean by false color image?
Well, disinformation. The article that Justin just sent me about the blue roofs and things like that. It's a debunking article by Newsweek. Therefore, sorry, Justin. Not saying that I believe the blue roof thing at all, but when it comes from a place like Newsweek, they might as well just say Lies Incorporated or Disinformation Inc. I'm really not going to buy that at face value. I'll look into it.
You know what? Tell me this doesn't make any sense to you. What is the pop culture perception of the moon? It's a rock, right? Am I wrong? I mean, that's the pop color perception of the moon. Here is what they say. The reason it's colored like this. The false color processing of this image is useful for interpreting the surface solid soil composition. Areas in red generally correspond to lunar highlands, while blue to orange shades indicate volcanic lava. Bluer mare units contain more titanium than orange units. More tranquilitated, whatever, seen as deep blue patch on the right is more titanium rich than this other place on the moon, a slightly smaller circle. Okay, when's the last time anybody saw lava on the moon? Okay, I don't see.
Well,
this makes no sense to me. They're saying, oh, it's because there's lava on the moon. Where's the lava on the surface of the moon? That's exactly what this thing is saying. From 1992, I don't remember that. I don't remember seeing Galileo saying, oh, we found lava on the moon. I read the article. It's bullshit. It's disinformation, just like you said. Yeah, lava flows. I don't remember seeing lava. Do they mean moon lava? Is that like moon money, space money from South Park? Is that what that's like? Moon lava. It's gray. Mind? Yeah, it's gray. Sounds like bullshit to me. Yeah, it says presence of titanium. And I'm like, hold on. I don't remember titanium happening in nature. Okay. Thank you, Black Dragon. Yeah, okay, anyway. Okay, guys, it has been over 3 hours. We're working on 3.5 hours. I'm going to go ahead and call it. I'm getting tired. I want to get more coffee. I think my coffee maker is already turned off again for the second time tonight. And I've had 1 cup from it. So the first cup was instant. Yeah, I've only had one. The first cup was instant. So it didn't come from that pot of coffee.
Oh, my.
Yeah, I've had 1 cup of coffee tonight.
It started raining here, and all the outdoor cats came flooding into here and demanded food. That's why they're just jumping all over me, going crazy. So, yeah.
Okay, well, we will obey the cats like Joe obeys the puppy.
Sorry about that.
Okay. Okay, everybody, this has been a great show. And if you were looking for something like Spaced Out Radio, this ain't it. All right. We deal with reality and we don't deal with all the stuff they deal with. This show is for reality purposes only. If you're here, you're quantum.
You're quantum.
So thanks, everybody. I want to tell everybody in the chat, thank you for coming and commenting and joining in the discussion. It's been awesome. This has been a good one. And the longer shows, we tend to either goof totally off or do what we did tonight and dig deep.
Can it be both?
Huh?
Can it be both?
If we did that tonight too. We didn't goof totally off. So Frank, thank you for the excellent research skills and practice and finding that movie. I'm going to go watch it after I fix the description in the show here. Everybody in the chat, go ahead, Raven.
Just say, and after you watch it, let me know what you think. All of you.
I will.
It's phenomenal. It blows my mind.
Okay.
So blow yours too.
Thanks, everybody. Y'all have a good rest
everybody.
Good week. Good happy Sunday. And you know what? Best show since the last show. Keep
a little bit better than the last show.
Keep improving. That's just the way it goes.
Yep.
Thanks, Nathan. Good night.
Thank you.
God bless everyone.